Hello, 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 hello. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How's everybody doing tonight? Come on in, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Friday night, March the 8th. Today's the 8th. Well, look, yonder. It's Can. Hey, Candace, I tried to call you earlier. Hey, Zigzag. Hey, Angel P. Hey, Innocence. Let's see what we got in here. Angel Loader, Sammy, Shauna, Zigzag, Peppermint Patty. Hello, hello, Peppermint Patty, Sammy, Innocence. Oh, thank you, Shauna. Thank you for being a member of the Critters Crime family. Thank you, thank you, thank you. God bless you. Hello, Maya May. Thank you again, Shauna. Hello, Robin Redmond. I don't know why YouTube don't take it out. They always do. I don't know. They're supposed to, I guess. There's been a lot of drama on the YouTube today, and thank goodness Miss Daisy and us lots got a break. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I want to know what's going on. I haven't seen drama today. I did yesterday. Hey, Sound of Silence, Robin Redmond. Hey, guys, none of your business. I seen a scanner food a couple of hours ago in Gate City, Virginia, which is right outside of Kingsport. There was an attempted child abduction in Food Lion. Anyone heard anything else? No, I got an Amber Alert. I couldn't check it out though. Hang on, let's go check it out. I did get an Amber Alert, y'all. Hang on. I wonder if that's what it is. Mustang Mama. Hey Celeste. Hey Sleuth Fairy. Gail. Frankie. I'm gonna go check it and see. It said the child escaped from the driver of the van. It was a white van. I wonder if that's the Amber Alert that I got. Wow. Hey Pam. Hey Dee Dee. Did you get one, Candace? Did you get an Amber Alert too? Hey Laura Jean. Hey Cool Gamer. Dee Dee. Barbie Girl. Denise. Walk the line. Let's see. Diamond's Creation. Come on in, everybody. Let me see. Let me pull up the TBI up here. Let's see. I can't. I always have a hard time getting an Amber Alert. Let's see the TBI. TBI Tennessee Bear. Uh, missing child. So let's see what the TBI has to say. There was an Amber Alert. Active missing child alert. That would have been in Virginia though if it was Gate City. Uh, well, shoot. Let me pull it up, y'all. Hello, Nikita, Melanie Murphy. Come on in, everybody. We got an Amber Alert. I'm just trying to see what it is. Because they said a child about somebody tried to kidnap a child in Gate City, which is the Virginia, Kentucky line. Let's see if it's a new one. Darn it. Why does it have to be Iris? Iris Chrome, 7 years old from Ruther County, Tennessee. Missing since the first. I wonder if this is the alert I got. Rutherford County, Tennessee. And then here's Sebastian Wayne Drake. He's been missing since February 26th. Holly Snap. Lalea Sanatinelli. And then, oh, this baby's been missing the year. I think they found that baby in the thing. And then there's Summer. Wow. I wonder if it was this little girl right here. Let's click on it, see what we get. Does it pull it up? Daisy Candace did great standing up for herself last night. I didn't get to see it. That's what I was going to talk to her about. I didn't watch it. I didn't get to watch it. I heard about it, but I didn't get to see it. These babies are heartbreaking. Let's read what it says right here, y'all. Right quick before we get started on. It must have been I just got this one because I got one just a minute ago. An Amber Alert has been issued on the behalf of Rutherford County Sheriff's Office for Iris Crum. Iris is 7-year-old biracial female, 5 feet 0 inches tall, 80 pounds, with black hair and brown eyes. Iris was last seen March 1st, 2024, in the area of Blue Fox Trail, Murfreesburg, Tennessee. There's a lot of people go missing there. It is possible in the company of her non-custodial mother. Now, they do think she's with her mom. Kayla Sarita, a 30-year-old black female, 5'6", 140 pounds, with black hair and brown eyes. Sarita is currently wanted by the Rutherford County Sheriff's Department for custodial interference. And usually if the parents have them, and I hate to say this, but the mom usually don't hurt their children. Her mom took her. I think they'll find her. That girl was a wacky do last night, Miss Daisy. I missed it, y'all. Did her and Candace get into it? I don't know what happened to Candace last night, but it was so frustrating that Candace has to defend herself when her child is missing. It's truly disgusting, and Candace and Don don't need no more sheet. Hey, Lindsay. See, I missed it, you guys. So, what was the current Amber Alert this wasn't the one I got a while ago. Let me see. Maybe it was not a child. Maybe it was a. Hmm. Where do you go to Amber Alerts at? Hang on. Let me type in Amber Alert because I just got one. And it might have been for her. I just now got it. Amber Alert today. Missing child alert. This has to be it. That's it. That had to be it. I'm just now getting it today. And y'all, Sebastian, they still haven't found him. They still have not found Sebastian. Miss Daisy. Hello, Miss Kim's. I tried to go up on her too, but the link wouldn't work, so I had to speak my stuff through chat. Oh, Dee Dee. I bet you were something else. They updated her alerts. They updated the one to endangered on her mom. That might have been what I just got because I just got an Amber Alert. Yeah, that woman. That woman. I don't know who that woman is. She's crazy. Did the law enforcement pick her up, y'all, for saying such crazy stuff? Like, she was sitting there saying she knew where Summer was and everything. That was crazy. I think I'm going to deep dive a little bit into Sebastian's since I don't know how far Sumner County is from here, but I'm going to try to deep dive into that after we get through maybe sometime this weekend. Candace, I'm sorry you had to go through that. I didn't see it. That woman was crazy, y'all. To me, she claims to be a bounty hunter. I don't know, but she was something else. I watched the video. Let's see. Daisy, the lady, said she called TBI. That woman, I don't think that girl's right, y'all. I don't know. There's a lot of people crazy. I don't know. Lady Justice is the name that woman goes by, and she said Summer was in her backyard. She also mentioned David Dotson. Well, she's obviously delusional. What channel did this all happen on? I missed it. I think it was on White Boys. Did White Boy keep it up? I didn't even go watch it. I didn't get a chance to. Daisy, the lady, claimed that Candace gave her Summer to her. Uh, Y'all, come on. Is that woman in the chat? I'll put the link down if she wants to come up. Because I think she might be in the chat. She better. Now, come on, Candy. Don't start that. You come in here acting like that. Be nice. Y'all. She's a cray lady, Miss Daisy. I know there's a lot of them that way, y'all. Crazy. I don't believe it. Candace does need to explain more about all involved. Candace has explained a lot, William. She has. Anyway, y'all, be nice when you come in here. We have a mother of a missing child. We need to be respectful to her. You know, any mother of a missing child until we find out. You know what I mean? Hey, Lori Lee. Hey, Sarah. Hey, Mustang Mama. Hey, I want heart to touch. Hey, Tuesday Low. Yeah, we're not drama over here, y'all. We're not playing those games tonight. Bounty hunting is illegal in Kentucky, just saying. Is it? Hey, Gail. The landfill yesterday for that boy, I know. Y'all, come on. Be nice. You're in the bushes. Well, anyway, so some updates. We're doing okay. Hey, CJK, how are you? Come on in. Okay, so we're gonna talk about as y'all know, this is not about summer. This live stream is not about summer. It is about Madeline. And I'd like to keep it about Madeline if we can. And y'all be respectful to the mother of a missing child. If you can be respectful to one mother of a missing child, then you need to be respectful to the other mother. Because neither mothers have been accused of anything. So I say we respect both mothers of these missing children and love them both and not judge them. Because I love both mothers of these missing children that I know. I love them both and I'm not judging either one of them. So if you can respect one, then respect the other as well. Just saying. Okay. So I want to put a trigger warning up because I want to take you to the crime scene of Madeline Soto, where she was found. It looks like that she was dragged on the side of the road. And I'm going to give credit too. So if y'all can put out that thing for me. Gray Hughes is the guy that we will be using for use. And let's see, Diamond said all mothers that have not been arrested for the disappearance of their children should be respected, period. Amen, Diamonds. Amen. Okay, just yeah, if you can respect one, then respect the other as well. Okay, here we go. So this is credit to Gray Hughes, and I am going to put a trigger warning out because this is a place where the baby was actually found, where he had allegedly dropped her body, Madeline. And he kind of slows it down and kind of shows us, where, and he also enhances it as well. So, yeah, please just be respectful to. Well, Candace has her own ranch. She can do the karate chopping if she wants to. All right, so this is the actual crime scene here where she was found. Okay, it looks like she's only 60 feet from the road. And what he did is enhance it. And thank you. Thank you. Beautiful design. Yes. And I got a wreath that I'm going to show you all. That also. Hey, Debbie Nelson. Yes, thank you. Credit to Gray Hughes. Okay, guys, here we go. Let me make sure that's on a regular setting. Yeah, it's on normal setting. Here we go.
I mean, it's always possible that I'm wrong here, but I don't think so. And let's go back a little bit and
This
look
is
at the
actually
when the image is up there. Now, you
okay.
see how this looks like
This is the picture here. It's it's blanked out, but this is the picture that was released of Madeline. But it's blurred out. And if you can see right here is where Madeline was laying. If you could see that blue mark right there, that's where Madeline was laying. I cannot believe the sheriff actually okay, DD. DD, you sent me some pictures. I'm gonna have to look at them. I cannot believe that the sheriff's department released this and it was unblurred. But this part is blurred out so you can't see nothing. But as you can see right here is where she's laying. And he shows in specific details. Yeah, for sure. Yo. All right, here we go.
almost like bamboo right here, and how there's an opening. And that's the opening
Normally,
that I believe you can see when you go to Street View. Let's take a look at that again. Go down right here and zoom in and see how that's kind of like that same bamboo looking material.
this is where she was actually found. They said it was released by accident. Yeah, it was accident, but still, I don't know. I guess I would be really careful. Now this is this is like a year ago actually, but this
And you can see through, and this is the grass that you can
police
see on the other
are
side of
crime
that
scene.
image.
Not this right here
So if we
though.
were just to put that on the screen right here, you can see through, and the street would be forward. That photograph that was taken was on the same side that you see these two officials standing on. So it's going to be right in there. And let's play that
There is the baby. This
and see how you can see there's it's an opening that goes through right there. And the photograph was taken basically where this guy in dark is standing. And I'm just playing it in slow motion here. I changed the
okay, because I have to stop it ever so often because he does have music behind it, and I don't know if it's copyrighted. But this is actual footage of them at the crime scene via either drone or helicopter. We should get a castration law enacted for SA abusers. Hey, Dr. Drinkalite. Hey, Juicy Jewel. It is sad, Candace. It is very sad. He probably got a flat tire. They said he did get a flat tire, Andrea. They think that's why he dumped her because he got a flat tire.
brightness and contrast so you can
Someone had
see things a little bit better.
someone had seen him on the side of the road actually fixing the flat tire. And that's why they think that he dumped her there. And that's how they found her. Is because he was actually did have a flat tire, and I think he panicked because he only had a certain amount of time, and he dumped her on the side of the road. And then someone gave a tip that he was seen with a flat tire. They went and searched the area, and 60 feet from the road, which is up here, they found her. So I'm gonna just let you guys see this. I'm not gonna play the music, but this is yes, a tipster called in. As you can see, they've got masks on so they don't contaminate the crime scene. Um, but this is an enhanced video by Greg Hughes. He enhanced it. This is the real footage of them finding her. And this is how far she was from the road. She's right in there. She is. She's only 60 feet. Hey, Bellanella, can you imagine pulling up to help him with her in the car? They think that that's why he did that. That's why he took her out of the car, is because he got scared that someone was going to pull up and ask him, does he need help, and see her actually in the car. But thank God they found her quickly, where her body was still being intact, to where they could actually do an autopsy. Now, it was rumored. Right here she is, y'all. You can see right there, that is her. Oh, you can see that little blue thing, and he'll point that out here in a minute. But yeah, I noticed there was a step in each other's footprints as well. I wonder if he made his own flat tire so they would buy him time, and why he had to be there for so long. I don't know, unless he was acting like he was fixing his tire. But obviously, that is a bushed area. And if the person hadn't seen him and called in a tip, she still may be laying out there in that field until someone walks by and finds her. You know what I mean? Now, Sue, why we if we listen, why you come in here saying where's summer? Sue, why? Why are you doing that? This, for one, this is not about summer. And number two, why would you come in here and say where is summer? You think if we knew where summer was at, that she wouldn't be found? Did you come in here to attack another mother of a missing child? Just cut it out. You're a grown adult. Start acting like it. So it's showing, so he's showing right here how far from the road she is. So evidently he's pulled in this little driveway right here to fix his tire, or to dump her, one, and just acted like he was fixing his tire. It's sad all these babies are getting unalived. I know. I hope someone gets him while he's locked up. The whole thing just reminds me of another witch's sacrifice of children. So you can see Gray has done a wonderful job here at doing Google Earth and showing us exactly where she was located at. Now, there has been rumors that she was, pregnant and all that. Same thing with Audrey, but there's not been anything confirmed about that. Thank you, Rachel. Yes, justice for Madeline. But it's sad because it's an open plain. Look at that. Like, he could have took her into those woods, but he decided to just play the easiest way out and do that. Thank you, Sleuth Fairy. This is Gray Hughes. He's done a great job at showing this. There is a blurred out picture of Madeline that was released, but it is blurred out. Hey, Kathy17, how are you? So, yeah, they should mail example out of these people instead of putting them in jail. I know. You're absolutely right. And this is the crime scene here. There should be a preliminary autopsy report. Now, this is right here. You can see this is the blurred out picture that was released of Madeline. And right there is Madeline. So you can see they're looking over at her. You can see the blue hump of her blue jeans here. and you can see the blue jump hump of her. Gray really did a great job at this. He really did. Did the mom ever say what outfit she went missing in? Yeah, she had a gray hoodie or a green hoodie, I think, and blue jeans. And I don't know if she had a hat on or not that day. We'll go back over the mom's interview. But yeah, I don't know why there's people being haters coming in here tonight. This is about Maddie Soto. This is not about Summer. Just because Summer's mother's in here doesn't mean that you can like attack this mother. Okay? Don't attack either mother. We love both mothers of those missing children. And we don't want to come at either one of them. I have respect for Brandy and I have respect for Candace. Both of them. I love both of them and I have respect for both of them. Hey Coupon Mama, just wonder if she was found with the same clothes. She was. They said it was the exact same clothes. The people that's actually seen it, I think Dolly Vision might have actually have the whole photo. I don't have one. Are they shorts? Mom said green hoodie, black shorts with a black backpack. Almost looks like a blue shorts, don't it? Yes, leave the family alone. People are sick that hurt families of the missing. Yes. Leave them alone, both of them. I mean, how can you sit there and say, "Oh, well, don't attack one person, one mother and say, "Oh, well, it's okay to rip this one all to hell, verbally abuse this person every single night, day after day after day, and then stand for another mother." Why not respect both mothers? I'm not saying that it's okay to say anything to any mother, but it's don't come after somebody for one mother and then you know what I'm saying? Yeah, she said she was wearing shorts, but they found out and said that they were wearing pants, which means she lied. Oh, Rachel. Huh. The mom said shorts, so that means mom lies. Okay. So mama was lying. That's another lie they caught her in. Because you can clearly see there's something blue there. 600 people go missing daily from around the world in a year. That's a staggering 109 a year. Wow. No mother should be attacked without proof. Right, Debbie? I stopped watching so many creators that do that. I agree. I agree. So let's get it off this. And I'm going to take this down. I just wanted to give you all a little bit of a picture of what they were talking about the crime scene and all that. As far as Maddie, there has not been any new updates um on her case. We showed you the second affidavit. The autopsy has not come back yet. Um I don't think that they have named the mother. Some people are saying that they have named the mother as a suspect, but I don't believe they have, in my opinion. But Mama was asleep. How would she know what she was wearing unless the boyfriend told her? Exactly, Kim. Well, she alleged. I've not seen it where she said that Maddie had that she had seen Maddie at 8 o'clock that morning. That's just what's going around. Jen's mother said she was asleep. I think Jen was going off what that demon told her, to be honest, Miss Daisy. Right. They've already had a few. I heard that they cremated her. I'm gonna put my number out here, my number, if anybody wants to call in and give their input. I've not done this in a while, and give their input on this case, and just tell us what you think about it. Yes, they told they told they had a funeral on the 6th. Oh, look, here's Life's a Dance. How have you been, Life's a Dance? Have you been okay? I've been wondering and praying for you. I hope you're feeling better, honey. I heard she had already been cremated. That's what I heard. Wow. Madeline was wearing jeans, not shorts, like the mom said. That's what they were saying. Thanks for covering this. I'm behind on this one. Well, I did show yesterday an update on it. Um, Pretty much they were the behavior. We can go back over the behavior panel if y'all want to do that again, because the behavior panel actually has. Let's see. They've had time for people to check it out, so we can go back out and watch a little bit more of the behavior panel. If she were cremated, wouldn't the autopsy be back? It should be back. I hope they don't put a uh seal it like they do, like they did Evelyn Boswell. The interview with Stephen's friend is so disturbing. Yeah, I've heard about that. I hope you're feeling better, Life's a Dance. We'll watch this behavior panel. Lots of people have streamed it since I've streamed it. We'll watch a little bit more of it. Here is the link to the behavior panel. We'll pull it back up. Credit to the behavior panel. We went over some of this yesterday. Hey, Vicky, too. So we'll go over some more of what we didn't get to go over. So here we
Your
go.
last name and spell them both out for me.
Okay. Jennifer Soto, JENNIFER
Mother.
Mother.
Jennifer, tell me how you feeling right now.
I feel like I can't breathe. All I keep thinking about is,
Thank you.
where is she? Is she safe? Is she okay?
Thank you.
But we're all a wreck. My entire family's a mess. We're just so worried.
When did you first realize, or when did you file a missing report?
We filed a missing report. We called the police at like 4:45 yesterday, 4:45 p.m. But she actually went missing early that morning, around between 8:45 and 9 o'clock in the morning. She went missing. We had dropped her off close to the school.
Okay, so we've already seen this. I think, have we seen them on this one? Let's see. We didn't. Let's see what he has. Let's go into one more with her because. All right, this is the one we didn't see.
Speak covering what you guys covered.
This is what bothers me.
Take a deep breath.
We dropped her off at school, close to school. She wanted to walk the rest of the way. I'm not sure what I'm allowed to share.
You share whatever you feel comfortable sharing. I know you had conversations with detectives. Not sure what that conversation is, but whatever you feel comfortable sharing, that we'll put the awareness out there.
Yeah, she was spotted walking by the church, by the middle school on the cameras. They saw her hang out in the parking lot for a little bit and then get up and leave. They didn't see a vehicle or anything else. They just saw her walk away around 9 a.m. heading towards the school, but she never made it.
What has the school said? Have you been in contact with the school?
Yes, that they're doing everything they can. They've given me all their resources. The principals called me. They've looked at their cameras. I don't think they've caught anything on the cameras that's too far away from the sidewalk. Everything is too grainy, so they can't see specific faces. But they've looked. I'm just waiting to hear anything else from them.
Is this normal behavior?
Not at
to
all.
just not show up or call or text or anything?
Not at all, no. She, from time to time, she will leave her cell phone at home accidentally, and that's actually what happened yesterday. She left her phone at home. She went to school. But that happens from time to time. She's got ADHD, her memory. She's very forgetful. So yeah, there's no way to track her right now because the detectives don't have her phone. But this isn't normal behavior now.
What was the last thing, I guess, the conversation that you two had, you and your daughter?
We spoke about her birthday party. She had a birthday party on Sunday. She had a great time. I couldn't make it because I was working, but she had an amazing time. She was so happy with all her gifts. I told her good night, and yeah, that was it. I wasn't the one who took her to school in the morning. That was my partner.
Okay, I want to say whoever just called, call back. Somebody just called and I missed it. Whoever it was that just called, call back, because I do have open lines. And you notice Stefan was talking in past tense, saying she was a sweet girl. He already knew she was unalived. Yeah, we're going to get past this part because we've already seen this interview 1,000 times. I want to get to the point where they analyze. Hang on, y'all. Hang on. Somebody's calling. Hang on. Somebody's calling from Tennessee.
Candace.
Hello, you're live with Daisy.
Hello, Daddy. This is Candy Pram from Tennessee.
Uh-huh.
Earlier you had said about respecting missing children's parents.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that kind of like the way you disrespected Brandy? Or you?
Why are you
had
calling?
lots of
Are
respect?
you? Let me ask you a question. Are you an adult?
Oh yes, ma'am.
Are you an adult? So why are you
I
acting?
am.
Why are you calling me and acting like a child?
Oh, I'm not acting like a child.
Yeah, you're
You
being
can't
a
stand hard
child.
questions. No, you can't stand hard questions. You can't
There's
even let
no
me
hard
ask a
questions
question.
to it. There was never no
Amanda.
disrespect to Brandy. Never was there disrespect to Brandy.
Oh, lady, you're lying.
That is
Again,
your
I
opinion,
watched the
ma'am.
live.
You're
No,
a
ma'am,
child.
that's a lot of
You need to
people's
grow
opinion.
up.
You
Don't
lost
call
a
my
lot of
number
love over that.
anymore. Grow up. You're an adult lady. Act like one. Hello, you're live with Daisy. Hello,
Awesome. Wilma.
Wilma.
Six.
Hello, you're live with Daisy.
Daisy.
Uh-huh.
What if this? I mean, he was molesting this child, 11-year-old.
Uh-huh.
Her dad seemed to be in the picture. What if she fell in love with this guy?
Do you feel like she's telling lies for this guy?
Yeah. And he promised her, well, you get a certain age or whatever, we'll be together.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if she knew or not. It seems like a lot of people seems to think that she's being very, very deceptive. I don't know. That's just what a lot of people assume. So you feel like that she might be deceptive? Is that what you're saying?
Well, no, I mean, the girl was 11.
She was a
Apparently her
baby.
dad wasn't in that much in the picture. And
Yeah, we've not heard anything from her dad.
I've seen a picture of her dad and his wife and a child.
Aw.
But, since her dad wasn't in the picture and he was a stand-in dad, maybe she fell in love with him. And, that's happened before.
You mean the little girl? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, maybe she.
I don't know. She was 13 when she passed away. I think it could be what is that? Stockholm syndrome?
I don't know.
Where they get attached to their abuser. That could have been. We don't know. I suspect that the mom suspects it. I do suspect the mom suspects it, but let me turn this down. Oh, I turned it off anyway.
Some of the sex was
horrible. It was horrible with it. And unfortunately that goes along with it. Whoever's calling, give me just a few seconds I'll call back, okay? But if you're that Candace woman, don't you call back my phone. Huh? Huh?
him.
What, baby?
She promised the world when she got older, and
Uh-huh.
then she got be 13, and he didn't I've seen this happen. I'm 71. I've seen this happen.
Yeah.
And he didn't hold up to his end of the bargain, and she got upset.
Absolutely.
Now, I mean, just like, she was being treated like a grown woman, an 11-year-old.
According to those videos, it's on telling what was on those. I wouldn't want to be a police officer for sure.
I'd have to kill him.
I think most of us mothers would do that. Absolutely. I do believe that that would probably be. I wouldn't let it get by. I would never forgive him, but I was an overprotective mom, so
I wish he didn't hold up to his end of the bargain. She was his child. Naturally, she no dad figure, and evidently not much family
right.
dreams, And this was her. The mom was away a lot, so this was her go-to. This dude was her go-to.
Yeah. He was probably a father figure to her.
Yeah, she bonded with him, and I mean, 3 years of sex. I don't know. I feel that the kid has bonded with him in a.
She just didn't look too happy, did she?
No, she bonded with him in an adult way because they were having adult relations.
Yeah.
And he demanded, well, he told me when I turned so-and-so age, we was going to get married and have a family of our own, and all that bull crap.
Yeah.
And then she confronted her mom. Of course, I believe her mom knew anyway. But she confronted her mom. Well, he promised me this and promised me that. And that was the end of the story.
Yeah. Yeah, that's sad.
I mean, in 3 years, a young girl that has her monthly, you notice things.
That's true.
And the mom should have noticed a lot of stuff.
Yes, that she sure should have. Absolutely.
Yeah, I got 3 children and 12 grandkids. I notice things.
Yes, with that many young'uns for sure. definitely seem like you would love your heart. Well, I appreciate you calling in.
I mean, it's bad to say. I mean, I hate to say it, but so many other people think the same thing, that she could actually fell in love with this guy.
You never know. You really never know.
And well, I'm from the hills, so they get married back in the hills, 11, 12-year-olds.
That's true. They do. You're absolutely right about that one. For sure.
All right.
All right. I appreciate you calling in.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, honey. Bye. You're live with Daisy.
Call from Kelly.
Hello, you're live with Daisy.
Yes, ma'am.
Hiya,
Someone
Billy.
had said earlier about what needs to be done to these men that sexually assault children.
Uh-huh.
Someone said they need to have their nuts cut off. I vote Don Wells for the first one.
Now, why are you calling? And come on, who is this?
Katie Prim.
Are you the one that just called being rude?
Yes, I wasn't being rude. I was being truthful and factual.
No, you're being rude and you're a liar. If you were telling the truth, you would see that we've supported Brandy over here from the beginning. I was the first channel that she ever came on to. Do not call my phone again and stay over in your hate chats. Oh my God, this woman is ridiculous. She has lost her mind. She's so stupid. Why did I let this woman back on here? I didn't know it was her. I'm going to. Don't call my phone again, you crazy woman. You're a nutcake. My goodness. The phone lines is open if you ain't that crazy woman. I know, Candace, I'm sorry. I didn't know who it was. I didn't know she called back. She's stupid. Crazy. She did. Like, how many of y'all think I was ever been mean or disrespectful to Brandy? Ever? Never have I ever been disrespectful to Brandy, and Brandy knows it. We still love Brandy over here. We still support her. So this girl is just mad that called in because I won't let her come in here and bash the crap out of Candace and Don. And so she's trying any way she can. It kills them. I'm going to pray for her. I'm going to block her. She ain't calling back here no more. It's a sight how evil these people are, you guys. They are so evil. They're just evil. Candace said she supports Brandy. Absolutely. I support both of you all, not just one. And for them to say that I've disrespected Brandy in any way, that is not true. We all seen what went down, but I still love Brandy and I still respect her just like I do Candace. So get over yourself, this lady that keeps calling back. That's crazy. Hey, Laura P. How are you? All right, let's get back to the behavior panel. The call lines are still open if you want to call, except for that crazy lady. Then don't call back here no more because you're not going to get a nice person next time you call me. You call me back again, you're not going to get a nice person. I'm just saying. Daisy, do this the minute she talks. Disconnect her. I know. She's just mad because I won't let her attack Candace in here. I'm not doing it. Neither one of them, Brandy or Candace. I'm not going to let no one attack either one of them. Brandy knows I care about her. Brandy knows I love her. All these haters just look for reasons to stir up the sheep pot. Somebody's calling from Nevada. Hang on.
Call from Sheila.
Okay.
To accept.
Hello, you're live with Daisy.
Hi, Miss Daisy. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. I'm watching on my TV, but I'm calling in on my phone.
Oh, okay. How are you doing?
I'm good. I was just calling in on this little case here. It's really sad.
It's very sad. What?
I was just wondering. I know a lot of stuff is coming out about the mother now,
Uh-huh.
and everyone thinks that she's afraid of that guy and everything.
How do you feel about it?
Well, I just from watching her video or watching her interviews and stuff, she seems a little she might be a little bit afraid, but more so I think she's more afraid of the truth coming out because I think she's afraid for herself.
You think she's afraid for herself?
Yeah, because they're blaming it on the guy. Yes, he had all that, stuff on his phone.
Yeah.
And that's very well. But also I think if she knew what was going on and she was, allowing it or maybe she got caught them.
Yeah.
And hurt the little girl. What I'm thinking.
That could be.
She has maybe some self-esteem issues, or who knows. But,
Yeah. I mean, that is a possibility. That could very well be a possibility. And then she got the man to take her out of there. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. She maybe got in a rage or whatever because she said she was late to work that morning.
Right.
So why was she late to work?
I just don't see how a person can get up and not say hello to your child before you go to work, or at least check in on them.
Yeah, she it kind of sounded like she already had some there was a little bit of contention there or whatever with her daughter.
Yeah.
Just by the way she was saying those questions in her interview.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hopefully law enforcement will come out and let us know if they're going to charge her. But so far they've been silent about everything.
Yeah. It's with the guy, you remember how his eyes were all red? Like he had been crying or
yeah, that was an act, wasn't it? That was a big act.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as him like breaking down in front of the camera, I can understand that because I'm not one of those kind of crying people either. But I wonder if he wasn't genuinely sad because of what happened. Maybe, like I said, maybe the mother hurt the daughter, and then he doesn't have his little play there anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now he knew everything was, because he said, when he said everything coming, into reality, I'm thinking, yeah, because everything's going to get exposed now.
I hope
is what I think.
I hope that if she is involved, that law enforcement finds out and she gets arrested as well. Not saying she is, but if she is, I don't want her to get away with letting this happen to her little girl. You know what I mean? Not saying that I think she is, but now he definitely is an employee. He was an employee at Disney for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. But they said it was like more like an independent contractor. He wasn't like, he probably just did some work there on, a small aspect or something. Because I don't think he worked there as a permanent employee. Disney came out and said he didn't.
Right. Right. It's just creepy, ain't it? To think about it.
It is. I just never know. I don't ever trust my kid's grown now, but I never trusted him with anybody.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't either. Definitely. I definitely don't. But
well, so I was just trying to call you, so I'll let you go.
All right. Well, I thank you for calling me.
All right. Have a good night.
All right. Bye-bye. Somebody else was trying to call me. You can call back now. Oh, so you think he was hired at another facility? Rachel, you can call back now if you want to. I know she's been trying to call. Rachel, call back now, honey. You can call back. All right, we'll play their response to this until she calls back, okay?
Going on, or it's just self-preservation. We'll see. But the shaking still continuing. We see it during the things that are, we see the shaking during the parts that are provable and most likely solid facts. We see the shaking go away anytime somebody's asking details about Madeline going missing. I'm always uneasy personally.
You're live with Daisy.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Hi. Right, not too bad. I just want to say something real quick about the whole situation.
Okay.
About, I don't know if anyone has noticed so far. I'm
Hey,
sure they probably
Francis.
have. I was just wanting to say, if anyone's noticed about that Stephen guy or whatever the hell his name is, saying that he was a sweet girl, like that's talking in pretense. Like, dude, you already knew you killed her, and you already knew that she was dead. Both of them knew that she was dead, and I believe the mother had something to do with it. And I heard about her being there doing the pictures and the videos.
You heard that her mom was actually at the birthday party?
No, like taking the videos and pictures of when he was essaying her.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's what I saw on a couple of days ago. I want to say I saw it somewhere on YouTube. I want to say I can't remember exactly where, but I know I've seen it.
Well, if there was somebody else that was doing it, he better talk now. He'll get him a deal, because if not, she'll make a deal and he could possibly get capital murder out of this. I think. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry.
Especially
no, sorry,
if they found DNA in, they've already got evidence that he was with her unalive body. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and then about the what was that officer guy, whatever, that accident that supposedly said he accidentally released the picture of her dead or whatever when they found her.
That cop, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't believe he did an accidental.
I don't either. I don't, for some reason. I don't think it was accidental either. I don't know why, but I don't even think they're really going to reprimand him over that. I don't know if the mom will sue or whatever, but it's weird.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't see the mom suing. If she did, she wouldn't even have a leg to stand on because she's facing charges herself. It's just a matter of time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I think they're going to go for capital on him. I think they probably have enough evidence because they said whoever called in the tip where she was found seen him on the side of the road fixing his tar.
Yeah, I heard about that.
So he was seen at the unaliving site. You know what well, I don't know if that's where she was unalived at, but where she was put, where she was placed, you know.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, you're right about that, and thank God above that he had a flat tire because I believe that with all my heart and soul that was divine intervention that he just so happened to get a flat tire on the side of the road. Where he was found.
Yes, and thank God somebody seen it and knew enough to call in, you know, or she may still be laying out there, you know.
Yeah.
Out there in that.
But that's but not me right now. Sorry. That's all I was wanting to say. I don't want to keep the chief. I'm sure other people want to call, and I was just wanting to say that.
Oh, well, I appreciate you calling in, and you call back anytime, okay?
Okay, you have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye, honey.
Bye.
Bye. I love talking about this with you guys. Y'all are got good ideas and stuff, you know. If anybody has any new information, feel free to call in, except for that Candace Morin, because let me tell you something. Don't call back here again being a brat. If both of our culprits, they both should get capital punishment. I agree. I agree 100%. I wonder how many victims of him are out there. I agree on that one. People are sick and they need help and prayers. Amen, Candace. Amen. I agree 100%. So let's listen to the behavior panel when they're talking about her, because we didn't get to go over all of it the other night.
When I see more fear than grief or sadness. And I'm even more uneasy when I see that fear surrounding the story of the disappearance of the child. And to add to this, when I see that a reporter has to remind somebody to mention the child's name and remind them also that they're supposed to talk about what they think happened and that they want the child to come back home. The reporter's having to kind of prod and prompt this. It's a lot more concerning. I developed a guide, if y'all remember this, for the media on how to ask questions and what questions to ask during these interviews like this. This guide has literally everything that you would need word for word and has prompts to get somebody like this to talk a lot more. Innocent people can be less talkative too, and it's helpful to get them to start talking as well. So I'll link that down there. If you guys are all right with that, I'll throw it in the video description. Scott, what do you got?
All right. After the reporter says, what was the last conversation you two had? Again, this is fear. It's not the classic expression of fear, but I always say fear looks like a calm surprise because your eyes are open, your mouth is open, and your nostrils flare a little bit because you're waiting to see what's going to happen. You know, you've been shocked and then, what's happening? It's almost like a lengthened amount of shock and it just lasts.
I agree. It's absolute fear. Absolute fear.
For a little while. So, and I asked Melinda Ozell about this as well. She's a big micro expression specialist, and she said, yeah, that's what she's seeing as well. We talked about some other things, details of it, but we both agreed that was fear. So, yeah, Chase, that's spot on. So, when she answers again, that leg goes jiggling. She starts bouncing around like she's on one of those old covered wagons in a Western movie or something. It's a lot there. So she's getting a lot of stress from that question. And then this is where the fading facts come in at the end of that second answer when she starts talking as she's speaking. When we talk about fading facts, we're talking about someone who is giving you information that's supposed to be a correct answer or the answer. And as they get quieter toward the end, it's because their brain's saying, we shouldn't be doing this. In other words, we shouldn't be doing this, man. This is not true. So they'll get quieter as they go and down toward the end. So listen for that. We'll hear that a few more times in here because that's classic. That's not one cue shows you that someone's lying or telling the truth. But this is when you start grouping these things together, you can start making decisions about what you're seeing. If you have a whole lot of things that suggest deception, then you can feel pretty good about saying that's probably deception because there's no way to know for sure by one cue that someone is being honest or telling you the truth. That mouth chewing adapter shows up where she's chewing on her mouth and she's doing mouth grooming again, then stress mouth and the leg goes up. This is just everything she's dealing with here is causing stress. Every question causes stress. Everything she's asked to talk about causes stress. Every time they go even just this deep into it, that leg starts jiggling, she starts jumping around. So anyway, so I think something's up here. I think there's a lot more going on than I think anybody is aware of at this point outside of this investigation so far anyway. But then again, we hear when she says, I don't know what to think. We hear fading facts there as well. Mark, is that all of us?
So fear is
Yeah, and we talked about that. We talked about that the other night when I was analyzing her. Y'all, I've been watching these things too much. That she kept grabbing her lip and biting her lip and shaking. I don't know if she's guilty, but I do think she knows more. In my opinion, I think she knows at least that suspicion that her boyfriend is involved. I don't know.
is an interesting expression. You're right. It's very similar to surprise, and often, when you're looking at those emotions, it's the one that people will conflate. And I think the reason for that is, in my belief and understanding, is that fear has to be very, very subtle, because you don't want to show the predator that you're fearful, because it will trigger an attack. It has to be subtle enough that the people around you would detect the fear, but not so big that anything, outside of that close distance would see the fear. I'm going to go even further than fear, though. I think you're absolutely right, Scott, and obviously Melinda is absolutely correct. But I'm going to go for its terror. I think we're seeing terror in the face, and
I said it too. Terror, that she was absolutely terrified. Candace said, "Whatever happens in the dark will always come to the light." Amen, Candace. Amen, for sure. That is no doubt about it. Let me play the rest of it, because I think he's telling.
And I'll say in the next video why I think it's, extreme fear. It's fear, but at an extreme, and it's still subtle, because the signal has to be just for the people around, not big enough for the predator to see. Now, she has a theory, which is someone took her. So that's good that she has a theory, but then she changes that and she says, I don't know what to think. And that's, I think, the thing that you were getting fading facts on there, Scott. So that's interesting. She's got a theory, and that's a plus point for her. And then the theory gets taken away.
Okay, y'all. Hang on just a minute. I'll be right back.
With fading facts. So she's backpedaling on it a little bit. And then we get a new piece, a new story. I wasn't the one who took her to school. Well, last two videos, we dropped her off, and now she's not any part of it. The story is changing significantly here. Why might that be? There's a lot going on in this third one. Is that all of us or Greg?
Nope, me still.
Yeah, Greg.
So I got the same thing, Mark. I think it is terror. I think it's a mild version of terror, but I think she's shocked and terrified by the question. Shouldn't be. What's the last thing you said to your daughter? Seems like a normal question. But then that agitation comes back, and we can all recognize shock, fear, terror in faces, because, as you guys said, they're more subtle, but we all can recognize them. That's Darwin started that long ago. She does a lack of certainty with that single shoulder shrug, and then she goes to hesitant cadence, really hesitant, almost loss of verbal fluency at I told her good night. Well, hell, you should remember the last thing you said to somebody like that. That's awkward for me.
Yeah, just the extra things that she's adding in is what is weird. Hey, Yanni, how are you? If y'all have not hit that like and subscribe, please hit that like and subscribe, and please consider becoming a member. Thank you. Let me play this.
And that was it. What? You say that after you say the last word you said to her? And here we're back to the truth needs no support, that lies love a crutch. She's going to continue to qualify. I wasn't the one who took her, Mark. She says, now we have a first person singular declaration of innocence. Now I'm going to drop back to video 2, where I saw things that look real. I saw things that like hopelessness and fear and sadness and that lip compression. And what did she say then? We are waiting. Let's keep that in mind. The only time I saw anything genuine was we are waiting. And there was a lot of fear and that kind of thing around it. Now she's saying, I didn't do it. It was my partner. And that kind of dropped off. And then, but yeah, a lip compression. There's a whole cluster of red flags right in there.
Yes. That lip compression that we talked about. And then just adding in all those other things. Life's a Dance said, yes. Adding more unasked for details is a distraction. Yes. Most definitely.
Alone, this piece right here, going back and looking at where she was showing sorrow about we are waiting, now makes me concerned, now makes me think. And Chase, to your point, could it be that she has a suspicion that her partner did something? Could it be that she knows her partner did something? Could it be she was involved? We can't tell that. What we can tell is there's some behavior shift that indicates something is guarded and something is shielding. And again, I'm going to mention, I don't see any grief or sorrow except for writing that "We Are Waiting" piece. I don't see snotty nose. I don't see teary eyes. I don't see grief muscle. I don't see concern in places I expected. It's just not here. Maybe she's just suspicious, but that's a hell of a lot of disclaiming right in there. And then she's back to internal voice and I don't know what to think, and back to that terror. Guys, this one starts to look worse and worse. One little glimmer of hope in the second video now starts to look like something. I'm going to look for indicators that there's some kind of collusion going on. That's all I got.
So what are they going to watch now?
Scott, back with his contempt.
This is my father.
All right, hang on. This is her. I agree. She's absolutely terrified. Look at her eyes, y'all. She has complete terror on her face. Like, I think in the back of her mind, she's thinking, Stephen did this. Stephen did this to my daughter. I can't help but to think that. I'm sorry. I think that she knows secretly, subconsciously, or maybe even mentally, she knows somehow that he did this. There's no doubt.
Told her good night, and yeah, that was it.
Wow.
I was the one who took her to school in the morning. That was my partner. Yeah.
13.
She's 13 years old.
13, Madeline.
Madeline.
What are you thinking right now?
In my heart, I feel like somebody took her. This isn't like her to just pick up and run away, or just not go to school. I don't know what to think.
As a father who works full time, I want to be an example to show.
I wish she would come out and make a statement on this. If she is truly did not know that he did this, then she should come out, make a statement and say, you know, I did not know he was doing this to my daughter. Probably more than likely, I would think that she's probably lawyered up and they've advised her not to talk to media no more. Hey, Wynn and Wimes. Hey. But honestly, a lot of people online was telling her to get lawyered up. But she should actually come out. Hey, Wynn and Wimes. She should actually come out and make a statement after she found out that he did this to her daughter. I know she's grieving. And everything. And you know what usually happens after they find their children? They ask for the public's help. And then after they find their children, they'll tell us to mind our biz. We've seen that happen so many times, you know. Yeah, maybe she had suspicion, but was afraid to face it. That's what I'm kind of thinking, that back of her mind, subconsciously, she knows. Law enforcement knows more than what any of us know. So if they have any suspicions of her, they'll come out and make a statement. I don't know whether or not they're going to release the autopsy report. They may seal that. Sometimes with adolescents or children, they do that. I heard today that talking that what we thought was a bird was actually the idiot monster doing that. Really? I thought it was weird that she thought it was funny. Did y'all think it was weird that she thought it was funny? Like, here you are getting ready to do an interview about your missing daughter, and then you think, I don't know. There's more victims, I feel. You could be absolutely right. Like, this ain't his first rodeo. It was a parrot. That's what I thought it was too. Everyone is saying a parent is talking pet feeder. Yeah, allegedly, a lot of people are saying stuff too. In this video, she looks in shock and terrified. She's absolutely terrified. Her lips are pale. Her eyes are white. Her adrenaline is running high, almost to the point to where I think she is going to pass out, to be honest with you. Here we go, guys.
Everyone that we know that she knows, we've contacted them all, reached out to them. The parents have gone out to search and look for her as well. And we haven't come up with anything yet.
I've seen a lot of posts on Facebook, Hunter's Creek rants and raves and what have you. Did people say that they were going to conduct some type of like search party or anything?
A lot of people have asked me to volunteer, like if there is one, if they can do one. I have people passing out flyers, going to every store in that vicinity, a gas station, church. I think people were being stopped in the street this morning in front of the school to see if they've seen anything, if they've heard anything. My family they're going all out right now. Yeah.
Candace, I don't know if she's still in here, but Candace, what do you feel about her? Do you think she's being truthful, or do you think she's absolutely terrified? You being the mother of a missing child and having to go through this and do these interviews, do you feel like she's being truthful, or do you feel like that she's being deceptive, or do you think she's terrified? Are you still in here? I'm curious to hear what Candace has to say about this. Like, how does she feel, since Candace has been in the same and still is, like, well, Candace hasn't found her daughter, but I don't know. Are you in here, Candace, still? I'm curious to find out how she feels about it. Ain't y'all? If she thinks this mother's being truthful. You're here? How do you feel? Do you think she's scared, Candace, or do you think, I mean, you've been here before. Do you think that she knows something, or do you feel like she's fearful? I mean, you've been in this situation. You're still here in that situation. I'm just curious of what your thoughts would be about how you feel, how this woman is. Only a mother that's been through this themselves can know. You know what I'm saying? Because this woman acts like she's terrified, in my opinion. But then again, only a person that's in that situation would actually know how it feels. I heard someone say, could a mom have been on drugs that he gave her, and that was cause of her shaking? I just feel like she's absolutely terrified. Her eyes, her pupils, her lips are pale. She literally looks like she's going to pass out. I haven't really watched except for just this little bit, so I can't judge it. I know. Me either. I hate to be judgy, because putting yourself in that situation, knowing the horrific feeling of knowing that your daughter is out there and that somebody could have hurt your child, that could be I want to be fair, to this woman. I want to be fair. I ask God, like, don't let me be too judgy, because she could have actually, you know, she's panicked, in your opinion. I mean, but wouldn't you be if your child was missing? Like, everything could go through your mind. It's just the
Yeah, I know as a mother.
Look at her eyes, y'all. She is like, she's going to pass out. She's about to pass out. Miss Daisy, her mother, or Maddie's aunt, said Jen was bipolar. And let me see here. Jen was bipolar on one of the Spanish stations. I think her being medicated plays a huge role in the interview. Oh, okay. Oh, thank you, a bit crazy. Thank you for that super chat. Thank you. Thank you. Miss Daisy, you are a good person. You always try to find the good in everyone. I get horrible vibes from this mother. I think we are all going to be shocked when evidence comes out. I do too. The dark eyes, a bit crazy. The dark eyes, and just, I don't know. And the behavior panel, and a lot of people seem to think. Thank you so much for that super chat, a bit crazy. Thank you for that. God bless you. Okay, guys, let me get caught up on chat. I'm sorry. But yeah, she's just either she's absolutely terrified, But the inconsistencies with her story and the way I'm going to show you all here in a minute when she grabs her mouth.
A lot is going on in their brain,
so much
to bring her back home. What have the law enforcement told you that you are able to share?
I mean, that they're doing the best they can. They've had detectives come out, interview us. They took a piece of her clothing for the canine dog to see if they can sniff her out. I'm not sure when that's being done.
All right, Greg, what do you got?
So she's really boiling the air down now, if you can't miss. She's inhaling it more heavily, her mouth's open, all that bouncing and terror in her face. And now she's added batter on deck. She's rubbing her thighs. I don't expect all of that when a person is feeling grief. I just don't. Grief, go back to the McCanns, the one you guys beat us up about all the time in the comments, where the McCanns were lifeless, and you said that was an indicator that they had done something wrong. No, that's an indicator of grief, and their brain is running out of energy and that kind of thing. There is not.
Candace, how do you feel about these guys? How do you feel? Was these guys nice to you when you went and was interviewed by them? Do you feel these guys are credible? I know that the interview didn't go very well with you all. You felt a little bit interrogated by them. I don't know. I think they're smart, but I don't know. There's a lot of other things that you have to take in consideration. I'm just curious to see how Candace felt about these guys when they interviewed her. They know their stuff, she said. Okay. Well, that's good to know. You have a good respect for them, then that's good. Okay, good. There we go. Here we go.
Not agitation. Now, there is a part of grief that causes people to go from denial to anger, but she's not in anger. She's not in denial as far as we can tell. It feels like she's just in the moment. She's guarding again. There's a nonsense answer that really does mean something if you listen to her words, but her sentence structure is just really poor. When she talks about people have asked me to volunteer if there is one, what she means is people have called and said, if there is a search, I'd volunteer. Or can you help us organize one? And. Well, here's question number one when somebody says that he missed. Did you organize a search? Are you part of a search? And if she says no, then the obvious why question. There's eye movement now, deviation from what she was doing earlier for facts. When she was doing facts earlier, now she's talking about these people, her eyes are going back to the opposite side of her brain. So something's going on here. Can't tell what until we get further in and we get a clean question. But let's pay attention to this. I don't know where this is almost telegraphed. Chase, you say it most of the time. Where's my baby? Let's get out there. Any of you, if you're missing a dog, would be, where's my baby? Let's go get this, much less a human being. And she's just been handed the question, what would you like us to do? They didn't ask that, but she says people have asked, they've volunteered, but she still doesn't bring it up. She still doesn't say, where's my baby? There's still no grief. There's still no agitation there. The agitation is all about protection and about protection of facts. Every fact that she's bleeding is one that's being pulled out of her. Now, does that mean she did something? No, but it means this is a hell of a lot of red flags that would certainly get my attention talking to her, and I would start pulling and pulling and pulling. And when I say pulling, I'd be real friendly about it until I wasn't, until there's a reason to have some kind of case. Because remember, you're just interviewing this person and you're trying to get to facts. Mark, what do you got?
Yeah. So I'm interested in the blink rate here because it seems super
what
low.
Blink rate?
Blink rate.
There's no blink rate. There's no blink rate at all.
Yeah, well, I think I counted one. I think I did count one. So we can, we can give a one on that. Chase, I think you're right in suggesting that often it's the case of a low blink rate is hyper focus. So let's take that as let's go with that idea because I think it's a good idea. So then we go, okay, so what is she focused on? What is she so hyper focused on here? Now we've got this big eyebrow raise with that as well. Now, talking about terror and fear, there are some indicators in fear. Fear, you want to let a lot of information in there. You want your blink rate to be low, so you're getting that information in. Also, the eyebrows are a good way to signal to other people in the room that there's a threat in the room. There's something, there's a predator around. So high focus because of no blink.
And I agree. It's just absolute terror to where she wants to pass out. If y'all ain't hit that like and that subscribe. It helps my algorithm and helps my channel to grow. And please consider becoming a member as well.
Blink rate, eyebrows up, potentially, could be approval, but potentially not approval, could be signaling to others there's a risk in the room, there's a predator in the room right now. I don't know whether there's somebody else in the room at the same time as this interview or in the vicinity of Parrot around and about. And something has disturbed parrot. Greg, it sounds like you know parrots better than I do. But maybe something else in the house has disturbed the parrot, and the parrot wants feeding, or maybe the parrot just shouts out like that at a certain time of the day. I would be interested. What else is happening? What else is in the room? Who else is in the room or in the vicinity at the time? Chase, what do you got on this one?
We know he was in the room, so there wasn't a whole lot that she could say with him being in that room. And she could have very well been terrified because he was in that room. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Let's see what they have to say.
Yeah, we know now that she uses the single shrug as a social acceptance gesture, since we saw it really pronounced when she was mentioning that Madeline has ADHD.
Drink a lot.
So she's socializing the issue here in this clip of having spoken to everyone. So she's introducing more difficulty here and complexity again, introducing it. So saying they've literally contacted everyone possible. There's no more people that can be contacted, which insinuates nothing more can be done. She's also adding here that people have searched for her. She talks about her family going all out, which is very different from asking for help. In many ways, this can be seen as something that's lessening the need for any assistance or help from people. And I'm surprised by this point. There's not one mention of her name unless it was directly asked of her, and no mention of getting Madeline back home. And essentially she's saying that all that can be done is either happening or has already happened. And at this point, I would assume she most likely, if I was doing this interview, obviously I'm not in charge of the questions, but based on this, I would assume she very likely knows the location or disposition of Madeline. And
wow, he thinks that she knew at that time. Win and Wime said, in my opinion, I don't think she had anything to do with it, but I think deep in her mind, she always felt something was off with him, and she's sick. She never said anything. Wow. That could be true, or she could have known and she could have been absolutely terrified. I don't know, but he seems to think that she knows where Maddie was at.
I would say that in likelihood, that's a high likelihood. Scott, what do you got?
I agree with you 100%. And I'll tell you what I think at the end of this thing, because it's anyway. So I agree with you guys. And Greg, going back to your point, but for all of us, if somebody we loved was missing, they wouldn't be able to interview us because we'd be out. So where's Mark? I don't know. He left. He says he's going hunting for his kid. Where's Jay? Then we'd be gone. There'd be no interview. They'd be trying to find us, but that's what would be happening. You don't sit there and say, well, and I think your shoulder shrug went up at that first part because she really doesn't. I think it scares her. I think you're right, Chase. I think that part where at the beginning there where she says, where he's asking about the people are coming by and stuff, and that shoulder goes up. No, man, she doesn't want to answer that. Of course she's unsure, but she's really insecure about that. We're seeing a whole lot of insecurity here, man. We're seeing somebody who's afraid. We're seeing fear. Why would we be seeing fear other than being afraid for your daughter, Madeline, who is never named in this? Never, not once.
He is telling the truth. Not once have you heard Madeline's name. Now that guy did say baby girl, but you've not heard her name at all in this. Wow.
So let's think about that for a second. Why would she be doing that? Why would she be pushing away from everything? Why isn't she out hunting for that child? Why isn't she trying to find people to help her hunt for that child? Why isn't she saying, look, hang on just a second. If they do get her for an interview and say, look, here's what she looks like. Bang, here's a picture. Please go out and look. I think that bit about the ADHD, I think that's not true as well. I don't think that's true. I think that's why we're seeing that shoulder go up and that chin go toward the shoulder. I don't think the kid has that. I could be wrong. She could have been diagnosed or whatever. I don't think.
Yeah, I'm ADHD or non-ADHD. A teenage kid is not going to leave the house without their cell phone. I don't care if they got autism or if they've got ADHD. They are not going to leave their phone. They love their phones. They're addicted to their phones. You have to physically take their phones from them as punishment. So, yeah. You think she was pregnant? I don't know. I mean, that would definitely have to be something that would come out in the, in the documentation or during court cash clips. But hey, you never know. But, I was thinking about that today. If she was pregnant, they would have just took her to have an abortion, but they would have had to answer to why she was pregnant so young, which a lot of young girls at 12 and 13 gets pregnant. They do that. Especially if their parents lets them out running around. But I don't know. That could have very well been. That could have very well been. And we won't know until they they have her autopsy results. My children would sneak their phones to school and everything. Yes, kids love their cell phones. So when they said she forgot her cell phone, I'm like, no, that ain't true. It could be diamonds. I don't know. I'm not familiar with it down there. When children go missing, some people freeze and can't leave their homes. Lord have mercy, you can't fault them for how their MH responds to tragedy. So, when and why do you think that mom might be innocent? Because I don't know. I hate to say that she is and she ain't. I'm not an expert. I see terror on her. The only thing that I can see on her is absolute terror. Absolutely terrified. No kid forgets their phone. Absolutely. They don't. I see absolute terrified on her face. I think mom had her cell phone the whole time. Yeah, she probably did. It's not a landline only world anymore. You can leave the house and still get calls. I'd be searching. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I agree. But for a kid, a teenage 13-year-old girl to leave her phone at home, that's a red flag. You can see him in the birthday photo. You can see his reflection in the glass where with the other guys. Oh, I didn't see that, Michelle. Let's see here. They are about to make phones in school against the law here. We already have no smacking laws. It's working well. The only thing is a lot of parents depend on their kids to have their cell phones. In a way, I think the cell phones is good because you can track those little buggers on that cell phone. Uh, ain't no way at that age. No, no, that's actually no smacking law. That's actually a way to discipline children nowadays is take their phones. You take their phones, you crush their hearts. They hate when their phones are took. You can do anything to them, but don't take their phones. Rebecca said, surprise Stephen didn't dispose of a phone with the laptop and the backpack. He threw it in a garbage dumpster. How stupid. You could tell he was a bad criminal. He was a bad criminal. Someone would have had to call her out of school that day, right? Or the school would have called mom if she was in absence. You would have thought that the school would have done that. A lot of people were saying, why didn't the school call and let mom know? Hey, she didn't make it to school today. Most schools will do that, but I don't know. None of it makes sense. Girl, listen, God forbid I find out some ish about some dude touching my little girl. I call the Pope and tell them to bring the corner too, period. Miss Daisy, bitches leaving in a body bag. Exactly. Diamonds. Yes. Let me tell you something. No. That's one time I'd be homicidal if someone hurt my child. I would be homicidal. I would not be able to sit in a courtroom if someone hurt my child. I'll tell you that. They better be holding me back. Good luck with that no cell phone law won't work. Just a constant battle. I don't know. I don't know why they wouldn't because a lot of kids does need it. I think he got her prego. That's what triggered him. Let's see. I'm way behind on this. I know diamonds. If the school called or texted her, she'd be in trouble. That's the whole thing. I wonder what the school is saying about that day. Did they try to call the mom? Did they? The grandma only lived a few blocks from the school. You heard the mom say that. So how is he going to run around that darn town with this little deceased daughter, this little deceased girl in that car and nobody see nothing? and the grandma not be suspicious. It's weird. I wish my kids had cell phones when they were teens. I spent so much darn time trying to track them down. I know, I think about that. It's really scary to think about not being able to get a hold of your child. I remember getting detention for chewing gum in school. That was awful, wasn't it? Especially if they call her in the morning and she didn't ring her missing till 5. Exactly. All them are red flags. There's a reason he didn't dispose of the phone, also, unless he forgot about it or he got scared and panicked. I think it was a panic. I
think she has it.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna put trigger warning what I think how he unalived her, and this is just how I think because of the essay and pervs and how they get carried away in essays with Shambane Ramsey. We've seen her get strangled, and I believe that he probably did that to her. In my opinion, that's just my opinion. I think that he probably choked this poor little girl. I'd like to know how he for I'd like to know how he got her out of the car and no one saw it. He would have had to drag her because listen, this little girl is a person that is unalived is dead weight. So he wouldn't have been able to carry her dead weight. They're like 50 pounds, more heavier when they're deceased. So yeah, 50 pounds more. OMG, my son is 22 almost. He went to the WWE thing in Detroit and I made him share his location with me. It's been 6 months and it's still being shared and I ain't saying a dang thing. Listen, I do the same thing, Wind and Wine, both of mine, all 3 of them. Well, my husband tracks Bub because Bub took me off of his traction because he knew I was being too strict. But my girls, my husband, or I tracked the far out of them, and one's almost 30. Miss Daisy, they said the school didn't notify until the evening. Apparently, a lot of schools districts do that. See, they should notify them that day. They should notify them that day. Did they have a garage? I'm not sure. I had the cell phone that looked like I was calling in airstrikes for the military. You had that old school stuff. Phones were not available when we were in school and we managed fine. People are so obsessed with their phones. He we don't have hardly any telephone boxes left. That is true. So let's listen to the rest of this, y'all.
And her blink rate, like you were saying, Mark, it's there. It's almost gone here. Going back to your point, Chase, we know that when someone's afraid of something, your brain goes, we need to keep an eye on that. So your eyes get a little bit wider and you don't blink. And when you do blink, they don't blink completely most of the time. So I think there's a whole lot going on around here in this situation. We're seeing stress mouth. She's thinking about not getting in trouble. That's what she's thinking about. That's what it's looking like to me so far. So, and Greg, to your part about collusion, you damn straight. I'm with you on that. I think there's a lot going on here that hasn't been brought up yet. Maybe in the investigation, probably.
Okay, I want to see what Candace said. If my boys weren't in school that morning, they were calling me at 8 a.m. Yeah, that's what the schools around here do. They'll call you. So I don't understand it why they wouldn't do it there. And I think that man might have known it. I don't know. But these guys think she's being very deceptive.
I'm not sure. All right, we good?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good lean, Greg. Mark, it's very pro.
Well,
base that wasn't much.
I'm just warming up. I was playing it cool. That's what I do.
This is what bothers me.
Okay, guys, hold on. Let me mute so I don't get a copyright. Let me take it down for a minute. So I don't get a copyright on this. But yeah, I'm glad that they did this analysis because I was wanting. I know there have been other people like Court TV and them that's done it, but yeah, we got calls within an hour of absence too. Yeah, they told on our tails. Well, not me, but the kids. All right, here we go. Now it's still on a commercial, so let's give them a minute. Could Stefan have intercepted the call if it came early? He could have very well. Yes, he could have very well done it. He could have very well done it. He I just think the way he talked about her in that interview, it was almost like he called her baby. Like he was already speaking of her in an intimate way. That's just how I see it. He was speaking of the little baby girl in an intimate way. Candace said, hang on, y'all. We're still debating mama here. Candace said, I know this is off topic, but will everyone pray I can come up with the money for my tires on my car? Oh no, Candace, is your car down? Is your tires bad on your car? Candace, we'll be praying for you, Candace. I hope it gets better for you. Okay, here's the mommy, you all. Let's bring it back up here. Prayers for you, Can. Uh-oh. Hang on. I lost my place. Hang on. This is the last one, I think, that they done of her. Something's wrong with the internet. Can y'all hear me? Hello? Can y'all hear me? Something's wrong with this internet. Hang on.
He knows everything.
All right, Mark, what do you got?
Well, she does ask for help in the end. She does use her name, but it's taken some time getting there. So a little bit too late from my point of view. I hope you're okay. Lots of upward inflections there. I would like more force within that. If it's a sincere call out to her daughter, that there's the possibility that she could be hearing her, even if she's captured in some way. And then there's a complete change in voice and attitude from being passive, which we've heard of before, to being now and passive and kind of helpless, to being active when she's describing how she could direct somebody the journey home. A really big change. Again, we're always looking out for changes. I can't really make head or tail of why that change, but it shouldn't really be there. There's no necessity for a change there. And it's almost like an affect gets dropped. For this kind of passive helplessness that we've seen her in suddenly gets dropped immediately. It's like it's been an act of some sort. I find it very, very odd, these quick changes that are going on. Greg, can you make any sense of it for me?
Yeah, I'm back to what I said in the beginning. When you're grieving, your brain is occupied on another category and you are responding to what's given you. It is not your single obsession to chase. You call it socially focused. I think it's fearfully focused on what this person knows or doesn't know and trying to make sure you're managing that as you go. And I think it is social, but I also think it's fear driven. And I think when you're facing grief, you said it early too, you don't care. I don't care what you think. I want my kid. There's way too much focus, Mark, on what this person thinks is what I think you're seeing. Her intake eye is damn near closed. Now look at that left eye. It's closed down real tight. We have not seen a single tear, not a grief muscle, that arch series of muscles that shows that very little concern. There's no membrane, no mucous membrane drainage. She says at one point, we didn't get a text message. Well, you told us the phone was on the counter. How did you expect a text message? So I think she's now just rifling through what she thinks she's supposed to. Feels a lot like she's got a list of things. And then her baseline for visual is not what she's doing as she describes her actions. We just saw what her baseline for
Exactly. She didn't shed one tear, not one tear.
Visual was. And now she's going somewhere else when she's saying, I did this and I did this and I did this. There's a big deviation when she's talking about games and apps. She's back to that narrowing of the face and that dismissing with her face. And her bouncing is increased. I think she's in circuit overload here. At one point, she can't understand what the guy's asking questions. And then when he throws out that life ring about her coming home with somebody, she'll grabs at it because it's back to her being able to get connection with the guy again. Again, I'll go back and say grief doesn't agitate. Grief slows. Grief causes you to be more contained and zombie-like. Agitation comes when there's a reason why you're trying to get contact with somebody or to hide something or do whatever else it is in there. And that can be, now that agitation can come out in.
But you do have to think about this. She was not only just grieving, but she's wondering if her child's all right. So at this point, she don't know if her daughter is safe or not. he's referring to her grieving. Hey, Nora Woods, how are you? But actually, she's in the state of terror, wanting to know where her daughter is. So you do have to think about that. She is worried about her daughter. He's looking at her as kind of grieving right now, but actually, she's in the state of fear, in my opinion. You know, you have to, so I can see why she's hyper vigilant because I would be that way. I lost my daughter for 2 hours and I was crazy. She had went home and fell asleep with her boyfriend at his parents' house and didn't tell me. And we went to the ball game and she wasn't there. And I actually got the police involved and I was screaming and crying and acting like a total crazy woman. So I can see why the mom is in hypervigilance. It's 24 hours after. She still has not found her daughter. You heard Brandy say she passed out when she heard the helicopters go over her house. She said she passed out. I mean, I can kind of see why she would be in a hypervigil state. I could see that. So I don't know. These guys, they're kind of looking at her a little bit like grieving, but I could see why she would. And I'm just doing that. I'm saying this to be fair, y'all. I'm just saying this to be fair. So we don't know if the mom was involved or not. You know, I think I agree that some of the things that she's doing is not what they're supposed to be. But on the other hand, I can see why she is very terrified because I would be terrified too.
And I want to find my kid, but that's not what we're seeing. We're seeing agitation at perception management. Chase, what do you got?
Perception management is what we're seeing for sure. I agree. And I think she's afraid to ask for help. So there's 6 ways that I teach people are driven, and social needs or the need for acceptance is one of those. And that's what we're seeing here. Having the need for acceptance means that you naturally have, as a byproduct of that, a fear of tribal retribution or pissing off the tribe. So asking for help and then this information coming out later means that she will face the wrath of her tribe. And that's what I think we're looking at here. They give her the entire floor here to say whatever she wants. And the first thing that we hear, she asks for answers. And we just want answers, not the daughter back. And then she says, if you see my daughter, just please bring her home. If she was taken, I don't think that's what she would say. No confidence in this at all. And just kind of assumes that she wasn't taken. Maybe lost in the streets. But just a few seconds right before this, she said in her heart, she feels like Madeline was taken by somebody. And in this moment, she's saying, I hope you're not hurt. Try to mimic her behavior when she says, I hope you're not hurt. Mimic her facial expression, her tone, and her breathing. See how you feel if you copy what she's doing. And I think that will give you a magical key to see behind the scenes here.
Like I said, they suspect deception. I see a mom that's terrified. I don't know. I have to put myself, every mom is different. You know, I've went into complete and thorough panic attacks. One time my daughter's plane was 30 minutes late and I was calling the freaking airport talking to the security. I was going crazy. So in a way I can kind of see why she would be terrified.
At the moment of saying, I hope you're not hurt, something goes off in her head and she freezes. And I just think she doesn't know what to say. I also think that phrase, saying out loud, is something that's sending her mind into dark territory. And she could be recalling something she knows to be true or something she's fearing or something she actually saw. I've never heard a parent say anything like this in one of these videos. This pause that she takes after saying all of this hit me in the stomach watching it this morning, going through these videos. Scott?
Yeah, and the part about
Candace, what do you see, honey? Can you tell me? What do you see, honey? Hang on a second. What do you see in her? Oh my God! Somebody sent me diamonds. Oh my God! Thank you so much, diamonds. Thank you for the cash app. Oh my God. Okay. Okay, Diamonds, I will. Hang on just a second. Hang on just a second. Yeah, I'm gonna play this one. Hang on just a second.
Imitate her and see how you'd feel. Paul Ekman did a whole study on that, and he would have people make a smile, smile or make a frown or whatever, and they would start. You can fire up the emotion by just using your face. I can't remember what the name of that is. What do you call that triggers that? There's a term he came up for it.
Mirror neurons.
No, well, the mirror neurons. What we see.
Theory of mind.
What the brain does. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's got a specific thing for that. It's all the things you guys are talking about, but it's one little phrase in there. I'll see if I can find out what it is in the break. All right, you guys pretty much covered everything, but after that first question, it's dang downhill all the way. That leg gets jiggling. Her blink rate is almost stopped. It looks like her eyes are frozen open, except for that one that's all squinched up. It's almost like you were saying, Greg, it's damn near closed. This for me, like from video one, I said something's not right here, and then the more we go forward, as we talked about before we started this, I think she's in there. I think there's collusion in there somewhere. We'll get into details of that here in a little while. But the end first thing we hear more fading facts. I'm trying to add things you guys haven't already talked about. I don't think I am.
This is what bothers me.
How does that happen?
What school?
Hunters Creek Middle School.
Tom, any questions? Yeah. Is there anything that you think our viewers would need to know about the way you're feeling, the way the family's feeling, Madeline?
We're desperate for any answers, anything that you can do to help. I'm here for it. Just please, if you see my daughter, just please bring her home. I just hope you're okay, Maddie. I hope you're safe. I hope you're not hurt. I just hope she's okay.
When did you notice that she was missing? Because this was at the beginning of the morning.
She got.
Thank you, Diamonds. Thank you, Diamonds. I should have sent that back. Did you get the first one back, Diamonds? Did you get that first one back, Diamonds? I sent the first one back. Thank you so much, Diamonds. God bless you. Hang on, you guys. Did you get it back, Diamonds? Thank you so much for that Cash App, Diamonds. Thank you, thank you. I sent you a message, Diamonds. Check your messenger, okay?
Dropped off in the morning. We did not notice until after school pickup at 4 o'clock when I went to go pick her up, and she wasn't at school.
So we're going in 24 hours now.
Yeah.
Just about.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing. No word. No text message. No messages anywhere from her. I've looked at all her social medias. I've looked at all her games she could have played with. Any app. No weird conversations. No. Nothing strange. Everything was conversations with just normal friends or us.
Did she knows how to get home by herself? As if, like, let's just say, to take a bus or an Uber or something like that. She would know how to get home alone, correct?
Sure.
Diamonds. I sent the first Cash App back for you to send it somewhere else. The first one you should have received back. Did you get it? Here we go.
I don't know if she would know how to get home. Maybe, I mean, I'm thinking if someone got in the car with her and if she pointed the way, what roads, she probably could figure out how to get, but like, does she know a full address? I don't think she does.
Which would give me it just puts in my brain that she always comes home with someone.
She always comes home with me.
There's no need for her to really learn. Okay. He said no, Tom? He knows everything. All right, the first question is if I can get your first and last name and spell them both out for me.
Stephen Stearns, Stephan Stearns.
All right, so Stephan, you seem very emotional right now. Explain to us.
I dropped her off. Everything looked fine when I drove away. So last time we saw her.
What were the conversations that y'all had in the car when you dropped her off?
Well, like she was asleep for most of the way. Told her have a good day at school when she got out. I love her. She said thanks, love you too. That was it.
And so where do you think she could possibly be? I mean, this isn't, as I was told, this isn't normal behavior.
It is not normal behavior. She's not the type that would just run off. We don't know where she can be. We're scared. We just want her home.
Are you, in a sense, blaming yourself?
It's hard not to.
Why?
Hang
I
on.
dropped off early.
Candace, I just sent you a message. Read your messages, Candace. Okay. Can you read your, are you there? Read your message. Here we go.
Early. I could have waited longer. She looked okay. She was walking towards the school when I saw her. It was like any other day, so I went on with my day. It's hard not to blame myself.
Ordinary is the opposite of beautiful. Beauty drops our jaws, dilates our eyes.
Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, they're okay, they're back. Here we go.
Scott will include a special rendition of this that he was doing off camera here a second ago in our final clip. It's one of finality, though. It's finality. Even his language, if you listen closely, it's all about things being over and done with. He makes an appeal for her to come home, but it carries the same, listen to this when it comes back on. His appeal for her to come home has the exact same emotional weight as you see and hear when he's spelling his name for the camera. When I see this, there's always something wrong, every time, always. So the question was ambiguous and open from the reporter. And Stefan, I think is his name, could have said anything that he wanted to. When someone's in the situation and they have the floor, and they default to the story of what happened from the beginning, which is potentially a story they made up for the police. This is one of the top 3 red flags you could ever see. The number one concern is the story which explains his innocence and not her disappearance or her return or her being found. Mark, what do you got?
Yeah. So emotions are expensive. They take up a lot of oxygen to get them going. There's a lot of respiration involved in emotions. In order to get that kind of action in his eyes and that kind of tonality, not quite being able to get his words out, it would take a lot of oxygen and carbon dioxide, a lot of respiration to get that going. His breathing rate is not up at the right level. Just immediately, the breathing does not fit a heightened emotion of any sort whatsoever. So it can't be a real emotion because they're expensive, and he's not taking in enough oxygen and expelling enough carbon dioxide to support any kind of heightened emotion. So straight off the bat, I go, well, that's made up. He's making that up. He's acting that right now, and not well enough. Not well enough for me not to be able to see it.
I thought he was an Academy Award-winning actor. I think he did well. I think he's very convincing. I don't know. Did you all buy it when you first saw it? What do y'all think?
She was asleep most of the way, he says. I mean, I think that's odd behavior for a child. I've kids that are ill. Yeah, we'll fall in them often. A kid's ill, just got in the car and they're asleep. Like they're not. They don't want to go to school. They're making out that they're ill, or they're ill, and that's why they're asleep. Or maybe the journey's a 3-hour journey. And they get up at 4 o'clock in the morning in order to make it for the. I mean, that's a possibility. But from the description, it seemed to be a short journey. It just struck me as odd. The kid was asleep most of the way. I don't understand that. I'm not feeling his feeling because the breathing isn't enough. So he's got no empathy from me. And in this situation, if it were real, I should be empathetic. Even me, I would feel it, and I'm not feeling it at all. So again, another reason why on an emotional level rather than just the intellectual level, that the breathing isn't right. On the emotional level, my empathy and my theory of mind isn't firing off. So there's stuff missing, definitely missing from there. And then he said,
Yeah, he was more worried about convincing the story, hey D-Boss, or than he was actually talking about what could have happened to Maddie. It was all about him. It was dramatic.
it's hard not to blame myself. So he's focused on himself, whereas he should be focused on her. It should be nothing about him and blame for him. He should be focused on the search right now. It's all wrong. It's all Pete Tong. Greg, what do you got on this one?
Yeah, I thought he was going to break into a Bee Gees song with that tone of voice, that little falsetto cry that he does. I'm just like, look, everybody knows that when you cry, you're indifferent to what people think of you. Real crying, you're snot-nosed, snotty-eyed. You don't care. I mean, if you ever see me cry, I won't care what you think. It's just the way life is. He's not. He's a bad actor I always call it going down the well to get emotion. What real people do when they're feeling emotion is they choke it back. They contain it. They don't embrace it and try to go into it and lean into it. And he's leaning into it, Mark. I mean, if you were coaching this guy, you'd say, the hell are you doing? That's not acting. So if you watch this guy, he's going down the well, he's finding something, and he's probably finding something to go down the well over, looking down into his right, recalling something that makes him feel emotion so he can pull up something. Even then he can't. It's really bad. His respiration, everything about it is bad. Chase, I'll give you another.
Hello, always late. Hello, everybody coming in. Hello, everybody. We're going over some more of the interview or the behavior panel. Hello, Julianne. Hey, Amy Lynn. Oh, okay. Let me check it. Let me check it right quick, okay? Hang on just 1 second.
Bad marker that I feel like there might be some collusion. When the bird interrupted her story, she started her story over because it's important I get the facts out. People don't do that when their kid's missing. They go, just get my kid home. I'll tell you all that later. How we got to here is a different story. But they do. They start, and it's like we were just saying, and when we capture prisoners, there's things we call 5S, and one of those is separate. And the reason we want to do that is because I don't want Chase and Mark talking, because then I can't tell whose story is whose. And we separate those guys. It's separate, speed, silence, safety. Yeah. I know you're doing the same thing, right?
And segregate.
Yeah. So segregate is about moving them apart so that you get the chance to be able to talk to the person and get their story. And these people are both stories that start over right at the beginning when they get interrupted. That ain't a good sign, number one. He's got deep breath and emotionally eye accessing, probably trying to get that. But then he does this thing. Go watch me when we're talking to Terry.
Oh, thank you, Amy Lynn. Thank you for that cash app. Thank you so much. Where's my bill? You and Diamonds both. Thank you. Thank you, Amy Lynn, and thank you, Diamonds. Oh, thank you, always late. Thank you so much for that super chat. Love it here on the farm with all the kind critters. Thank you, always late. Thank you, Amy Lynn, Diamonds, and always late. Thank you, thank you. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much. God bless you guys. Thank you so much. All right, we'll finish it up a little bit here. God bless you guys. You're so nice. You're so precious. Thank you.
That's not lip compression. That is disdain and disapproval and condemning all day. He does that almost every time he says something about this little girl. And you can't see it as much because of facial hair, but pay attention. He does that lip compression and he does a head nod or head shake. I don't think that is the confirming thing. Scott, you're going to talk about in a minute. We'll say this is a counter shake. He's saying this when he's saying yes, something is wrong. All this together creates a cluster. We saw her. He's back to the pronoun again, sharing those pronouns. And then when he's asked not much, she was asleep, his head shaking and lack of eye contact are bad sign. When he raises his eyes to make contact is something key to his story. Is the only time he's going to do it. When you ask him a point, he'll do the other. And then when finally they ask him a question and he starts to do this, he entirely loses the whole head shaking or nodding. That was it. He goes, no, shakes his head like this. What the hell does that mean exactly? You want to know? And then a single shoulder shrug as he says, not normal. Every word that he wants you to hear is punctuated with eye lock or romancer, as Scott and I would call it in the True Crime Workshop, but it's locking eyes. We just want her home. There's, again, a head nod, lip compression, and disdain. This guy right out the gate, you look at him and you go, boom, there's that. This guy has got nothing positive in it. He looks like...
And not to mention that he is shaking his head no. Every time he says something about Madeline, he's shaking his head no. So that right there is a dead giveaway, in my opinion. Every time he mentions anything about Madeline, he's shaking his head no. Okay.
He's storytelling. He's using that, again, team pronoun. So let's pay attention to him. Scott, what do you got?
Every woman watching this within the first 7 seconds went, he did it. Something's not right here. You got that feeling that told you something wasn't right, because even in that short little window of time, you picked up a lot of things. When that voice he's doing, that when he's talking really like something's wrong, that's coming from the diaphragm. It's not coming from constricted larynx. That's not what's happening. It's not that constriction that makes your voice go up. I know this because having sang background vocals for years and years, and literally we would do 50 of the
you and the Bee Gees?
part. Yeah, I was in the Bee Gees. 50 the low part, 50 the mids, 50 of the highs, and then 50.
Oh my God, Jody! Jody! Oh my God! Thank you for that cash app, Jody. Woo! For love you too, Jody. Thank you so much. God bless you guys so much. You're so precious. Oh, thank you, Jody. Woohoo! Thank you. Jody Fair. Thank you. God bless you, Jody, if you're listening. Jody Fair. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much, Jody. God bless you. All right. Well, I didn't mean to interrupt y'all. Thank you guys so much for all your support.
And these make these huge gang background vocals. That's how you do it. And that's what I would do every time. That's what everybody I know would do every time. And I know what that sounds like. And that's what he's doing. So that's fake. That is the worst I've ever heard somebody try to fake being sad. Is that's so bad. Right out.
Thank you so much. God
the gate. This whole thing is just full of odd behavior. So let's, like you were saying, let's pay attention to how many times we shows up in here. He says we dropped her off. Although the last time we saw her. So that tells me I think that mom might have been with him during all this. And Mark, the point about the sleeping that you were talking about, what they found out was that he had her in the car after she wasn't alive anymore, and had it looking like had her sitting up in the car driving her as he was going, and they had video of that. That's why he said she was asleep most of the time. So, and I just happened to watch a video about that. I was like, oh, there's that more on the kid. Right. So that's what he's talking about. You didn't have that info, so you didn't know. But that's a good call, because why would she be asleep at that point? Then he says nothing. It was like it was an ordinary day. Everything else was normal. He didn't say except for it's not normal, because she would be let off in a church parking lot. I understand how sometimes kids want to have their parents let them off when they're down at the end of the sidewalk as they walk up. That's cool. But being let off in a church parking lot way back there, remember when the mother said they couldn't tell if it was her or not because of the grainy video at the church? But then she said that was her. They could see her in the parking lot there, and she wandered off. That wasn't her. Obviously, it wasn't her. So these two have been talking about this. They're in collusion. She knows what's up. She knows.
Wow, these guys is right
the
on.
interviewer. So why do they?
With the Wells Fargo Active Cash Card, you earn.
These guys are right on it, son. They're right on it. Right on it. Let me take this down for just a second. Let's see what some of the comments are. Thank you guys so much for being so sweet. Hang on, let me check my messages. God bless you guys for helping, and thank you for donating to the channel and everything else. Thank you so much, you all. Let's see who we got in here. Thank you everybody for supporting my channel. Bye, Hope. Why did Jen not let Ellie search the house? She knew. Did they not search the house? Did they not search the house? Is that what it is? Hang on. Okay. Y'all, I was just checking here. So, yeah. Okay, I'm back. She knew. I know she knew. I'm also going to open up the phone lines again for people to call, but please don't call back Candace Morin. Be nice tonight and don't call back. If you call back, you better be nice. But yeah. Bye, Hope. But yeah, I mean, I feel the same way he does. So we're going to play you some more while we wait for people to call in and give their opinion. You guys are awesome tonight.
At this point, again, could be neurotype, but let's see. The shaking is interesting because, as you're saying, Scott, when the dog is called, everything stops. Just everything disappears. So that makes me think, to your point, this should go up even further under stress around the dog. Everything goes. The voice change. We heard of the voice at the start, giving her name and the letters involved with her name and how clear and strong the voice is. When she starts into the interview, that all disappears. That's really interesting. It makes me.
Yes. You're live with Daisy.
Big Mama!
What you want, Big Mama?
He so knows what he did. He did it.
You think so?
He's probably helping him.
I don't know. The behavior panel seems to think that they do. That's Jinkies, yeah. That's Jinkies, Diamond. Why didn't you answer when me and Jeff called a while ago?
Because I was watching my Iranian women.
Oh. Yeah, this is Jinky. Jinkies is being a creeper. Candace said hello, Jinkies.
Lori P, always late.
Diamond.
Diamond.
Frankie. Everybody's in here tonight. Where are you at?
Well, you couldn't live with a man for 7 years and not know that he's a pervert.
I know.
7 years. Thank God his love. 7 years. Big Mama.
All right.
Hey.
Bye. She's a stalker, y'all. My brother's doing okay. Hey, Fonda Cheese Man. My brother's doing okay. She's stalking. They lanced that on his side, and he's home now. They sent him home with home health. He's doing a lot better. Diamonds. Lovely. All right, here we go, y'all.
Think that all of this could be some kind of effect.
Wait a minute. We was on Stephen. How did it end up all the way over here? Let's evaluate Stephen. This is acting up tonight. Hang on. I don't know what's wrong with it. Hang on. Let's get to where Stephen shows. Or Stefan, whatever his name is. There it is. Stefan. I hope my internet
Dropped her off.
is acting crazy.
Mike had a heart attack a year ago, but he still lived.
The commercials. Hang on. Well, darns. They got all kinds of commercials. Here we go.
Everything looked fine when I drove away. So last time we saw her.
What were the conversations that y'all had in the car when you dropped her off?
Not much. She was asleep for most of the way. Told her have a good day at school when she got out. I love her. She said thanks. Love you too. That was it.
And so where do you think she could possibly be? I mean, this isn't, as I was told, this isn't normal behavior.
It's not normal behavior. She's just not the type that would just run off. We don't know where she can be. We're scared. We just want her home.
Are you, in a sense, blaming yourself?
It's hard not to.
Why?
I dropped her off early. I could have waited longer. She looked okay. She was walking towards the school when I saw her. It was like any other day, so I went on with my day. It's hard not to blame myself.
Chase, what do you got?
So you'll notice his tone here. Maybe Scott will include a special rendition of this that he was doing off camera here a second ago in our final clip. It's one of finality, though. It's finality. Even his language, if you listen closely, it's all about things being over and done with. He makes an appeal for her to come home, but it carries the same. Listen to this when it comes back on. His appeal for her to come home has the exact same emotional weight as you see and hear when he's spelling his name for the camera. When I see this, there's always something wrong. Every time. Always. So the question was ambiguous and open from the reporter. And Stefan, I think is his name, could have said anything that he wanted to. When someone's in the situation and they have the floor and they default to the story of what happened from the beginning, which is potentially a story they made up for the police, this is one of the top 3 red flags you could ever see. The number one concern is the story which explains his innocence and not her disappearance or her return. or her being found. Mark, what do you got?
Yeah. So emotions are expensive. They take up a lot of oxygen to get them going. There's a lot of respiration.
I agree. The only thing I would be worried about if my child was missing is finding my child. I would not be focusing on all that other stuff. My head would be completely clouded. I agree on that. I agree.
Involved in emotions. In order to get that kind of action in his eyes and that kind of tonality, not quite being able to get his words out, it would take a lot of oxygen and carbon dioxide, a lot of respiration to get that going. His breathing rate is not up at the right level. Just immediately, the breathing does not fit a heightened emotion of any sort whatsoever. So it can't be a real emotion because they're expensive, and he's not taking in enough oxygen and expelling enough carbon dioxide to support any kind of heightened emotion. So straight off the bat, I go, well, that's made up. He's making that up. He's acting that right now, and not well enough. Not well enough for me not to be able to see it. She was asleep most of the way, he says. I mean, I think that's odd behavior for a child. I've kids that are ill. Yeah, we'll fall in them often. A kid's ill, just got in the car and they're asleep. Like they're not. They don't want to go to school. They're making out that they're ill, and that's why they're asleep.
I want to address what Astro from Space said. He was faking the flat tire. Yes, we're going to go back to Hughes here in a minute at the crime scene. And I want to show you all back where I think he was faking the flat tire, because he knew that if he was just seen out there in the woods, that it would not be good. So I do want to go back to Hughes and replay that for you guys. Hang on. Gray Hughes. Hang on, y'all. I think this is it right here. So here is the crime scene. I want to pull that up for everybody that's just now coming in. Credit to Gray Hughes. This is actually the photo that was released. You can see that she's been blurred out in the actual place where she was found. And you can see, if you look at this picture, right, you can actually see, thank you, Sleuth Fairy, where she was at, which was right here. You can see these are the blue jeans that she had on, and you can actually see them right there. So he's got music, so I can't play what he says, but he slowed this down and made it clear. And can you see her there laying? That's her, actually. Another creator was smoking him the other day. Stefan's own hat was running away from him. Time to throw in the ish away. Absolutely, Diamonds. But I think Gray did a great job at that. We got another Diamond girl in here. All these parents that are hurting their children better look out. Justice will prevail. Let's see here. And see, the mom said she had shorts on. Yep, she was actually found. Here is the link to Gray Hughes. You all go over there and give him some credit. But yeah, that's actually the crime scene. He enhanced this. You can see that they have the mask on so they don't contaminate the body or the crime scene. And so it just looks, and you'll see here in just a minute, you can see that he actually, she's only like 60 feet away from, see, there's the road and there's where she's at. So she's only 60 feet away from the road. So what I think is he pulled in that little drive there and he seen cars were going by. So he acted like he was, fixing his tar, and when the time was right, he drug her little body in between those things, and then he covered her up with some straw. They said she was covered up with straw. Let's see, is it summer yet? Says, I think that blue is a tarp or blanket. She has a green top and black shorts from what it looks like from the picture. Well, Gray, if you listen to this, Gray actually has the picture. It's just blurred out, but he's actually seen the picture, and he said she's got blue jeans on. the mom lied when she said that she had black shorts on, or she's going by with um what the boyfriend told her. She wasn't alive to take her phone. Exactly. I mean, what kid actually does that? You know what I'm saying? What kid actually takes their phone? So he enhanced this video. This is either a helicopter or a drone driving over the crime scene. And so he enhanced it, made it more clear. And he has the picture. You've seen it. She's blurred out in it. But she does state in this video that she does have blue jeans on, not shorts. So it's very sad. It's very sad. And look, there's a fence around it. So he would have had to pulled in there and went past that fence, because there's not just directly walk to the road. You didn't hear him say that she had blue jeans on. Yeah, well, if the music, hang on, let me go to the front of it. I can't really play a lot of it because of the music. I don't want to get a copyright, but I'm pretty sure that he says it in here. It was either him or Dolly I heard say it, but I think it was him. Let me let this commercial pass by and we'll see. But it was him or Dolly one that said it, but I think it was him in this video. We'll listen for a little bit and see, but I'm pretty sure that it was. Let's let this commercial go by and we'll see. Every kid takes their phone. They do, Candace. I agree. Dang, these commercials. These commercials. Hang on. There we go. Let's see if we can hear him in here.
Jeans and perhaps.
Okay, so wait. He says it right here, I think.
I have the crime scene photo, which isn't really, it's not graphic whatsoever, but I still blurred out the, you could maybe see some jeans and perhaps the green jacket in various spots underneath the sort of, I guess, grass. It looks like the person intentionally covered her body with grass. Okay. So let's just take a look at this right now. And this is the helicopter flying around.
It's got music behind it.
Back there where the law enforcement was parked. And right here is the crime scene tape, that little yellow that you see right there. And let me show you where that is on a map. It's looking just like this.
It's very faint.
Okay, the crime scene tape is right here. If we go down to Street View, you'll recognize
right here
this
is, well, it just went back. I want to get here.
Other shots that you.
All right, this is the drive-through. So he would have had to pulled in here. He would have had to pull in here and parked, open this gate because there's fence all around it, and drug her over to that one right there. I think she was in this one right here. Because see, there's fence all around there, and the gate was open. As when you seen the crime scene, you seen the gate open. So he was familiar with this area.
You've seen in the media. And I believe that the body of Madeline Soto was found right in this gap right there.
Yeah.
Okay, now this is a year or so ago, and these are some.
So there is a fence line there, you guys. And so he would have had to pulled in to get her little body and possibly open that gate and drug her in there. It could be blue jeans, right? That's what he said. He said that it looks like blue jeans. And he has the actual photo. He shows the photo on here, but it's blurred out. And I wouldn't show it non-blurred. If it wasn't blurred out, there's no way I would show it. There's no way.
Somewhat newer, and they're a lot thicker now. But as you can see, there's an opening there, and it gets wider as it goes up. So down below, they're a little bit tighter in there.
And it's a lot more.
So if you go up in the air, that would be right here. All right.
Okay. And this is what I want to say. Right here is where he pulled in. There's a fence line right here by the road. So he would have had to pull in right here, open that gate, and drag her body or back it up. He could have backed it up and put her body right there. Two people looked into that area. So this is where he thinks that Madeline's body is. And if you look at this from, you'll see her actually laying in that position. When he goes close up on here, you'll see it. Shoot. Hang on. They is commercials all over these. I know they got to get their credit though, so So look, he clears this up, y'all. He clears this up. Good night, Candace. Love you, honey. Good night, everyone. Got church and fine tires for my car. Much love and prayers, everyone, tonight. Good night, Candace. Have a good Sabbath. He could have easily carried her. The problem is that, and here is the photo. This is okay. Right here is the blanked out photo that the sheriff's department released of her. This is her. This looks like jeans. He's seen the regular photo. If you look right there, I think that's her. Although there's a little pink thing there, I think that one's actually her. I'm not sure. But let's see. Hang on just a second, y'all. I just seen a comment. Drugs, huh? He could have easily carried her there. Well, not if you've ever tried to pick up somebody that is happy Sabbath to you, Candace. If you've ever tried to pick somebody up that is deceased, they are dead weight. Even though she was a tiny little 13-year-old girl, she still would have been very, very heavy to carry because she's dead weight. Like there's no muscle even in an unconscious person, there's muscle resistance. And with her, there would be no muscle resistance at all. So she would have been dead weight, even though she was a tiny little girl. It would have been very, very hard for him to carry her. But he was a big guy. So there is a good chance that he could have carried her. But in my opinion, I think he probably drug her to that area, or he could have backed up. He could have very well backed up into that area. Very well could have. All right, here we go, y'all. So, yeah, right there, I was right. He's pointing the little pink thing to right there. So that right there is where she was laying. Can y'all see it? He made it bluer. He did a great job, you guys. A really good job at enhancing this police footage of her. They're looking at her. I guess they're waiting for the crime scene people to get there. They've got masks on to keep from contaminating the crime scene. It's very sad. If that person would not have seen him on the side of the road that day, she could have very well been still laying out there. See, you can actually see the blue jeans where he enhanced it. Yes, credit to Gray Hughes. Go over there and subscribe to his channel. This is actually his footage. He enhanced it. And he's also got interviews with his friends. Let's see if we can find the interview with the friend. Okay, let's see if we can go back to and see if we can find the actual interview with Josh Stearns. Who is Josh Stearns? Ex good friend of interview. So let's see what they got here, what he's got to say. Let me put the link out here, grab this link, put it out here for the mods, and see what he has to say. Okay, here we go.
In computer class, he sat next to me. And we got to talking. And
Gray Hughes, guys.
He smoked pot, and I smoked pot, and we decided we were going to go smoke some pot.
Yeah.
And
this is his friend.
We just kind of were attached at the hip after that. We went everywhere together, did everything together until when he moved to Florida. That's when there was some separation there, and then his family moved to Florida, and I was missing him. He was gone for a few weeks, and decided I was going to go visit. So I got a plane ticket, went out there to visit. I ended up meeting a girl, which he had introduced me to. He had met her first, but I ended up moving to Florida and moving in with him and his parents in Florida, and I stayed there for. I don't know, I think it was about 6 months, some of the summertime, and then started senior year of high school there with him. And then I met my father after being separated from him for like 7 years, and got in touch with him. And he lived in Wisconsin, and I went to visit them. Went to visit my dad in Wisconsin and meet him, and then came back to Florida. And when I got back to Florida, I was informed that I was no longer welcome at the house. That I was this druggy kid, and I was a bad influence on everybody around me. And his mom had purchased me a plane ticket to go. I forget, it was his mom or my girlfriend at the time's mom had purchased me a plane ticket to go back to my dad's house and live with him. And that's what happened. And since then, we've had.
I have to say that guy is pretty creepy, guys. He's pretty creepy. Sorry about that.
Not a whole lot of interaction. I'd say we've talked to here and there a few times a year. Hey, how you doing? A few years ago, I'd like to say about 6 years ago ish. I actually no, it was a little after that. I had opened my shop. I opened a video game store, and I had reached out to him and was like, hey, you want to come work with me? My employees suck. So this was I was 30. The story of him stabbing the guy.
Mm-hmm.
That was prior to me as well, because I also heard that story, but it wasn't just from his mom. It was his mom, his our friend group, the girl that it happened with. I knew. So that was a true story, right? As far as I know.
Oh, that's interesting, because the guy that I interviewed yesterday, he said he doesn't believe the story because his mom was good friends with his mom, and he never heard it. But maybe the mom never told him. We don't know.
Yeah, no, that's interesting to me, because I know several people who knew this story, and one of them that was there.
Oh, okay, well, maybe then the individual I was speaking to yesterday, I think Ryan, he just didn't believe it, but he doesn't have, he wouldn't know for certain if it happened or not. Okay.
At first I didn't believe it either, but when you have several other people that tell you the same story and what happened, it all comes together.
Okay, makes sense.
But as far as from my perspective, Stefan has always been protective of his friends, his family, and that's what that was to me. That was, this drunk dude is approaching his. I don't even think it was his girlfriend at the time. I think there's a huge backstory with all of that. But he was approaching her, and he defended her, and that's what that scenario was. And yeah, he was the kind of kid that had pocket knives, and that's the group we were in. We were not the good kids. Yeah. I opened my own video game store here in Colorado, and he had told me that he was not working and needed work, and I was like, dude, come here, please come here. My employees are not great. I need help. And then he told me, finances for me to come there don't look so great, and I don't know how to cover these expenses, and my dad said this, and all these, it just seemed like excuses to stay where he was. But shortly after that, he did end up coming to visit. Him and Jen had come out here to visit, and we hung out for a few days and took him on a couple drives around the area. And,
So how long has he known Jen?
I'd say 8 years ish.
Oh wow, 8 years. Okay.
Yeah, they've been together for a long time, and their relationship has always been like this on off, on again type relationship. So for me, it's just been on, right? Because they never really, from my point of view, they never really separated. Like I've heard in the other interviews that he had moved out, and but even still, shortly after that, me and my ex-wife went to go visit them in Florida with my children as well, and we had a day at Disneyland. They took us to Disneyland, and we hung out all together at Disneyland that day. And that's before he had worked there. We've always been the nerdy kids.
Recently, and for no reason at all, I asked Mint Mobile's legal team if big wireless companies are allowed to raise prices.
As far as his Tamagotchi and Disney and his childlike things, to me that's totally normal. I ran a video game store. Everybody I know has that. I've got my collection of amiibos and video games, Pokemon cards, right? So that doesn't seem weird to me at all, right? But
yeah, I guess for people that don't do that, it seems a little strange. But that digital game that he has, those little hand I'm not sure what it's called again. I always forget the name of it.
So he'd been with his mom for 8 years, and they both worked at Disney. She was actually working at Disney at the time that this happened. So they did both work at Disney for sure. Let's see. hear what Radisha said. If she knew in her heart that Stephen did it, and if she was brokenhearted, then she wouldn't have been rubbing up on him and at the end of the interview. I agree, Radisha. I hope I said that right. If she was terrified, she would have been rubbing up, wouldn't have been rubbing up on him and comforting him. She's terrified of getting caught. You may be right on that one. You absolutely might be right on that one, honey.
Kind of got you, yeah. I mean, it seems more like for kids or something.
So for me, that was for kids, 30, 40 years ago was when those first came out. And so that's a collector's item already, just because of what it is. It's a collector toy.
Mm-hmm.
So for him to have a little collection of that, it's childhood memorabilia. Same thing as my Pokemon card collection. Right?
Okay, that makes sense. Some people collect baseball cards, the Magic game, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, Magic the Gathering, which I actually learned to play Magic the Gathering from Stefan.
When you look back now, you see things like, man, I saw that, but it didn't bother me then, but now it's a little bit strange.
I want to say something right here, what Diamond said. Diamond said, think about it. Ellie said video footage showed her unalived in the car early. He was seen dumping her stuff around 8 a.m.-ish. Was she unalived in the home and he carried her out while mom was knocked out? Could have been, Diamonds. Could have been. We don't know. I mean, only law enforcement knows. And they have to, even if they do suspect the mom of knowing, they have to have evidence that she knew before they can put a charge on her. So I don't know if we'll ever know. I think Jen knew what he did. Frankie seems to think so too. And yeah. And I don't know what link this is, but Debbie's sharing it. Thank you, Debbie. And Yanni said, something is up with her. I promise. I feel it. I just know she knows. That's what a lot of them are saying. Lie detector test. I wonder if they're giving them both a lie detector test. They need to. And that grandma too. And the grandma too.
No. It makes me question, my judge of character.
Well, he's obviously really good at tricking people. So I wouldn't blame yourself. I mean, every single person that I've interviewed, now when they think back, they think, yeah, he was a little bit weird, but they're all friends with him.
Yeah.
Right. So they all judged him similarly. For example, the video that just played while we were interviewing here, the guy, he said he collected semen in little containers when he was like 13 years old. And then he said, if women drink this, they'll get pregnant. So he would take it to school and, he told this friend that he put it in the drinks and stuff at school. I mean, it's crazy stuff that was going on. But that was when he was like 13. Right.
Yeah. I don't know about that. That seems like a real big stretch.
Well, no, that's a story that he said that he would tell.
Right,
and he even laughed. He goes, it sounds crazy. He goes, it sounds crazy, but this is before you knew.
Like recently went through a divorce, and there was a point there where he had reached out to my ex, I guess hitting on her in some way, and she had told me about it, I guess trying to make me jealous, or I don't know, I don't remember if she told me about it or just posted it on like her Twitter or something. But talking to a friend about it, I'm like, yeah, he reached out to her, but at least that way I know that she's with someone with my kids that I know and trust, so I don't have to worry about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this was this was 22. This was 2 years ago when the supposed.
You already know who it is, Megan Thee Stallion, and I'm just here to remind you to love on yourself. Do you want to be?
Videos and stuff on his phone started happening.
Yeah, and it seems like 2 years ago is when. Let's see if I can remember the timeline. They lived together, and then I think they broke up not long like 6 months later. But then he still lived in that room. He said, but I wonder if they ever really broke up while he was living there. I'm just wondering if he told people that. I don't know.
That seemed kind of odd to me as well, because like I said, I had visited the house, right? And at first I was like, oh, well, maybe they had moved since then, or but I have no idea. My first instinct was, oh, well, I don't know for sure that he is with, or that they're in a relationship anymore, because we don't talk every day, right? So I went on to. So the first time I heard about any of this was a picture popped up on my Facebook saying that Madeline was missing, posted from Jen's Facebook. I was like, oh man, that they must be devastated. Like, I wonder if there's anything I can do to help. Should I call? I don't know. And then if my kid.
I want to say, Janet said you can't force anyone to take a lie detector. Absolutely. You're absolutely right on that. Hey, White Widow baby, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. Miss Diamond said, Miss Daisy, most Hispanic females tend to fill out faster when they have had relations. The hips get wider, the bumps get bigger, and so forth. Mom should have seen that happening. Also, I think it also triggers female stuff to start happening as well. You can see her filled out in the pics. Yes, yes. When I was 13, I was, yeah. Yep. Yep. I'm not Hispanic, but yeah, I would assume the hormones are triggered as well, and her in this dress. Now, y'all, I think that he just, I don't know. I'll let you listen to the interview. You had no chest at 13. I guess it depends on the mother.
It was missing. I wouldn't want my friend from out of state calling, right? I'm busy. I'm doing something. Leave me alone, right? So I didn't. And then a couple days go by, and I'm following the story, and they found her body dead. Or he was arrested, and they found her body. When he was arrested, Mike, oh man, Mike. I don't know what he's arrested for. They're saying that he's got these things on his phone, but that could be anything. Like, I could go onto a porn site at some point, and there's a link that goes down the wrong fucking path, and now that's on his phone. But and then it comes out that was footage in the home, right?
Yeah, on his phone.
Very unbelievable. Like I'm trying to make up any type of try and make it make sense with who I know as Stefan, and it's just not jiving, right?
They even have him on camera driving around with her in it. He's like, apparently she's not even alive in the shot that they're looking at. They don't believe she is, but he may have drugged her and it looked like she was sleeping. I don't know. Did you ever meet Madeline? Did you ever meet?
I do have to say, what Life's a Dance is, I was noticing how beautiful. Look at that hair. Look how beautiful this child was. That golden, beautiful hair, and that dress just makes her look like a baby doll. I see a little girl here. I don't see anything but a baby girl, but look at that hair. Absolutely beautiful. This poor baby. Poor baby. I wanted to point that out because I was noticing that earlier too. Let's see. I never trusted this mom at all, and Maddie was awesome and getting thick. Yes, she was. If you're SA'd, I mean, your S relations. Yep. Janet said, my youngest granddaughter turned 13 in August. Thank God she's had minimum development. Yeah, I do think it is triggered by relations like that. People said there were pictures, there were friends there, but I've not seen any pictures of her friends there. And I've been all over different social media sites looking for it, and I could not find any of her friends and her. If any of y'all find it, please feel free to send it to me, but I've not seen any other than these pictures. She wanted to live in the woods. That speaks volumes. Yep, it does. This poor baby, you guys. I didn't see any friends of hers at the birthday party. And I've looked for all the new updates and everything. And call me old school, but 13 is too young to be wearing bold colored makeup. Nope, not cool. I agree. I agree. I think Jay for Justice has some birthday pics. Okay, I'd have to go check them out. Thanks, Life's a Dance. I'll go check them out. I bet Stefan bought that dress and shoes. You know what? You could be right. That's not a party without your friends. Yep, I agree. I read somewhere she had 2 friends, the rest was family. Well, at least she'd had 2, you know. All the hormones in the food these days, it doesn't have that to be Essie. I was 12, had my period, and a B cup by the time I was 14. I was a full C. You're right about that. You are definitely right about that. What's your name? 1,000 cuts? You're right. There's a lot of hormones that's messing with us ladies. I heard these pictures were taken by her friends, but no pics of them gathered around her. Yeah, that's weird, ain't it? That is so weird. He's been doing this to her since she was 11. And maybe even before that, he probably just started taking pictures and videos of it. At 10, wow. That's young. 10 is very young. My daughter won't let her girls even wear makeup yet. One turns 13 tomorrow and the other turns 15 in a couple weeks. And I don't blame her, believe. Bub has been aggravating the far out of me over a tattoo. And he turns 17 soon. And I said, nope, no tattoos until you're an adult and you can make that decision yourself. Absolutely not. He gets so mad at me, but I am not letting him have anything like that. When he becomes adult, then he can choose to do it, but not until then. Absolutely not. Yeah, exactly. Barbie dolls. Yeah. Okay, we'll listen to some more of this, y'all.
Madeline?
Once, yes, while I was at the house that day, she was there. She had showed my kids how to, like, the VR game that they were playing, like Astrobot or whatever, and my kids really want to play Astrobot. But, so briefly, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. So when you go back in time, though, like all the interactions you guys had, was it really? Did you ever go hang out at a bar, or just you and him together going to do something? You just seemed totally normal.
I mean, yeah, absolutely, totally normal. Like,
yeah, I mean, yeah, you were a friend where you go visit, even, you know.
Yeah, no, like, no anything. We partied, you know.
It sounds like he was able to compartmentalize. You know, like you literally probably were, or are, I don't know what you refer to yourself as, but like a friend where he considered you a friend, but then he had this other version of himself, or he was always hiding his other version. But
possibly, you know, he did a real good job if that's what it is. I mean, personally, I think there's a lot more to the story than we can put together at the moment. With Mom, and so when Jen was here.
I'm Lee. I am a veteran, and I'm a sales specialist for the Pro Department in Lowe's.
She is not stable. She was all over the place.
Yeah.
1 minute, totally happy, laughing, joking. The next minute had to go outside to the car so that she could bawl her eyes out, and then come back in, totally happy, apologize.
Is he talking about the mother? The mother? Is he talking about Jen that's not stable? Could that be what's wrong with her? Can she have like something going on with her? The mother? Do you think the mother knew something was going on and that's why? Hang on, y'all. Because he's saying that somebody's not stable, and I think he's talking about Jen. Yeah, that is Greg Hughes. Yes.
Energetic for it the whole time. She's super bipolar. Her meds aren't right, you know. Now, but and Stefan, I've never known to like lose his temper. He's always been very.
Oh, he is saying what he's saying is that the mother is emotional, losing her temper, and is bipolar. Yes, right here is Greg's. Here's Greg's linked and stuff. Credit to Greg Hughes. Did you guys just hear that? Let me back that up and let y'all hear that again about the mother. I'm going to back that up, okay? All right, here we go.
Now, but and Stefan, I've never known to like lose his temper. He has always been very composed, even when someone is like in his face, like, "What are you gonna do about it, man?" He's very calm. But the knuckle cracking in the videos, that was him all the time. He's always cracking his knuckles. It's just very. I don't know. I guess I have more questions than answers. I still don't understand how the time frame of all of this works out. Like he was seeing it, 7:30, putting stuff in the dumpster, but he was supposed to have.
I must have skipped over that because the part where he said the mother was bipolar.
She is not stable. She was all over the place.
Yeah.
1 minute, totally happy, laughing, joking. The next minute had to go outside to the car so that she could bawl her eyes out, and then come back in, totally happy, apologetic for it the whole time. She's super bipolar. Her meds aren't right, Now, but and Stefan, I've never known to like lose his temper. He has always been very composed, even when someone is like in his face, like, what are you gonna do about it, man?
Do you think that mom might have lost her cool? I mean, why was she so emotional? Why was she? Do you think that she knew, that she sensed that he was acting weird or something? Evidently, this must have been their house. This must have been their house. No, they lived in an apartment, so that's not their house. That's weird, though, ain't it? That he said that about her. Okay, I'll continue, guys. I'm sorry.
Very calm. The knuckle cracking in the videos, that's him all the time. He's always cracking his knuckles. It's just very, I don't know, I guess I have more questions than answers. I still don't understand how the time frame of all of this works out. Like, he was seen at, 7:30 putting stuff in the dumpster, but he was supposed to have, her in the car with him at 8:30, and then there's video surveillance of her at a church, which could not have been her.
Yeah, they actually said that wasn't her. Law enforcement did in the press conference.
So who said that was her in the first place?
I think there was just people looking at the surveillance footage, and they were telling the mother, yeah, that could be her right there, and they just kind of ran with that. But law enforcement doesn't think that.
And then I just saw earlier that the mother never saw that footage. Like, if I had seen that footage, I know my daughter, right? Mm-hmm. I know my son. I don't care if it's grainy. I know how they move. I know how they walk. I know how they sit, right? Like, so the image that you have on your videos that says, is this Maddie? And it's pointing to the reflection in the glasses. Nope, that's Jen. Jen had real short hair.
Oh, is she that little? She's tiny like that?
Yeah, she's tiny.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But even still, like, I can tell that, not even knowing her that well, I can for sure tell you that's the mom, right? And that's real grainy. So for her to be misidentified was weird. And then she was claimed to have been dropped off at 8:40.
Well, yeah, he's claiming all those things. Law enforcement's just saying they have a witness that literally has his car at the location where her body was found.
Yeah,
that's how they found it. And they also have different surveillance shots of him dumping items, and then they see her in the car at one time and believe she was still alive, or not alive, was dead in the car at that time. Whatever you hear from him is likely not going to be true.
Now, they did say that the grandma's house was down from the school. If that was the grandma's house, that's a nice house.
True at this point. I mean, now that you know that he's on his camera himself has they even described his private parts in the arrest warrant.
I saw that. I was like, oh, wow, that's real graphic. Okay.
Yeah, I thought that I was too. I was like, I even commented. I said, yeah, that's probably the most pornographic sounding probable cause or arrest warrant I've ever heard. I mean, you could have described it a little differently. What did you think of the mother of?
Oh, wait a minute, just a second. I want to read something here. Dale said, I saw a picture of Maddie in her bio, Dad, and she actually looked like her dad than her mom. Oh, I'd like to see that. I would like to see that. I wonder, we've not heard much from her bio dad. I bet he's devastated. Her business was near the school. Oh, okay. See here. They wasn't even dating. Stefan was living in a room next to Maddie. Yep. Friend of Stefan's. Kathy is. Okay. I'll continue on, guys. Sorry.
Oh, Stefan, his mother.
I was at their house every day before they I basically lived with them in California and then moved in with them in Florida. Left my mom's house with all my stuff and moved in with him and his parents in Florida.
And they were just absolutely nice and normal seeming to you?
I mean,
guaranteed fresh? This is going to be expensive. Wait, it's not expensive?
normal? No. Is anybody normal? What is normal?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
But functional. I mean, there was one time where him and his mom had got I forget what the instance was, why he was in trouble. But she had gotten angry to the point where she backhanded him, right? Mm-hmm. And he took it, poof, and then kind of gave her this look like, really?
Well, that happens. I heard the bio dad is in prison. Is that true? No, they said that he was from Texas and that he actually flew in when she was found. I heard Stefan lived away from them in the blue house. away from his parents. I know things that I wished I didn't have to know, but I see things others may miss. When you know what to look for, it's easy to find. Amen. I'm sorry, my opinion, mommy, involved too many things. She says no emotions, just gives me these thoughts. Well, you heard him just say that the mom was bipolar, very emotional and like depressant and stuff. I- You could be absolutely right on that. My mom, from mom and Maddie. So he lived away from mom and Maddie? Is that what you heard? Let's see. Mom walked in on Stefan and Maddie not for the first time, but for the last time on her birthday party night. Remember, Mom was off all day Sunday and Monday and Tuesday too. Hmm. Sunday night was that birthday party, wasn't it? That was Sunday night, was her last birthday. So far, this coverage is the best I've ever seen, Daisy. You're showing stuff I haven't seen before. Thank you, Miss Debbie. Hey, Christy Kids, how are you? Y'all, I have done some deep dive into this. I have done some deep dive. That's what I heard in a blue house. Oh, well, Court TV said they lived in a court. Yesterday, I played Court TV, and he said that they lived in a 4-bedroom condominium, Life's a Dance, and they all live together. That's what I've heard, according to what Court TV said. Let's see. Wait, wasn't the party on Sunday? Yeah, the party was on Sunday, and she allegedly had to work. So, yeah. The mom wasn't off. She was working allegedly on Sunday. That's what I was told too. The mom had the 4-bedroom condo? Huh. That's the first I've heard of that. You could be right. I'll look into it for sure. That's weird.
Mom, like, and then we left. We just walked out of the house, and she was upset, and you need to come back right now, this, that, and the other, and we just stayed gone. And my mom
absolutely
let him come to my house for a couple days, and didn't tell anybody that he was there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just to kind of distance them because of the physical interaction. Now, was that normal? Did that happen all the time? No, but they did have a very aggressive relationship, I guess, but it always seemed kind of playful, right? Like they would be yelling at each other back and forth. Well, F you, and oh, well, F you back. Well, F you sideways. Oh, well, go yourself with the barbed wire, whatever. They would just scream these things at each other, and from an outside point of view, it's kind of funny. Like they're just going back and forth, and
well, Life's a Dance. I went down that rabbit hole yesterday with the Disney thing. Y'all know how I feel about Disney, and they both allegedly worked at one time at Disney. So I thought about that myself. Life's a Dance. I heard that the day after Maddie was found, there was a porn bus not far in a blue house. I suspect that's a rabbit hole that I went down because of Disney. Y'all know the rumors and speculations about Disney. Y'all know how I feel about that, y'all. But that's a rabbit hole that only Daisy goes down. She files in it every once in a while. This man had many, many victims. Trust me, he does. Christy Lindsay said, so that monster was alone with that baby all night. Probably, Christy. Probably, guys. We'll finish this up right quick. Sorry, guys.
Seemed harmless. Like they weren't like actually yelling at, like actually like mad at each other that way. Like that was just how they back and forth, right? And his mom is very rough around the edges. Like she's she's racist. She's got a racist background, and there was actually one point where Stefan was dating a girl that had dark skin, and his mom had an issue with that at first, and kind of got over that.
Jen's Hispanic. So was she racist towards Jen? Because Jen's mom is completely Hispanic, and you can tell that Jen is Hispanic. She looks Hispanic. Daisy owns not one rabbit, but she loves their holes. I love it when she dives into it. Me and Christine both can go down them holes pretty deep, y'all. Both of us can.
I don't know. It seemed like her racism toned down a whole lot after that relationship. Like the next time I had seen her, she was not.
I got to tell y'all about this boxer named what's his name? He's come out and told some stuff about Bohemian Grove. Have y'all heard about it? The Garcia boy, that a boxer that went to one of these get-togethers at the Bohemian Grove, and they said that they forced him to watch them unalive children. Remember, go to TikTok and look it up, y'all. It's all over TikTok. But yeah, that's what they're saying. And then, like, he's terrified because he's a Christian, but that's a rabbit hole. We'll talk about that another time. Yeah, he was telling it, and they took everything from him and everything. He's just now come out about it. They stripped him of everything, his credit cards, everything. Did y'all see it? It's wild. See, them are rabbit holes, but I believe them rabbit holes are some true ones. Because after this, but yeah, I was looking into that last night.
Yeah, nearly as belligerent about her. As far as I know, she was a drill instructor, and so she always carried herself with I'm in charge kind of personality.
The last guy, he said that she would even buy him like Hustler magazine for him.
That seems odd to me too. Like there was never a point where it seemed like his mom condoned any of his negative behavior, right? So because I think I left off like right near that part when I was listening to it before the phone call, and that caught me as odd too. It's like, wow, the way I hear that is Stefan got the magazine on his own and wanted to like praise his mom or make his friend think that his mom was cool like that and bought him this magazine, kind of thing. I don't see that doing that.
Yeah, I guess he has no firsthand knowledge, I guess, of her handing him the porn. Yeah, he didn't see her do that. He just heard him say that. Yeah, that makes sense.
We're going up against after-school pickup. Uber teen accounts is how we're going to win this. You'll be stress-free knowing the drivers are highly rated.
Okay, guys. I don't know if there's much more left to this. He's going on talking about stuff that's not really that important, but we'll end it now because it's almost over anyway. But yeah, Bohemian Grove, y'all. This boxer has recently come out and talked about what went on at that ceremony. And you haven't heard the grandma's interview? I'd have to go look that up. We might do that tomorrow night. We'll be back tomorrow to talk some more about that. But yeah, he's a boxer. His name's Garcia, and he's come out terrified, exposing him. Said he was a Christian. He didn't believe in all that. Allegedly, they locked him up or tied him down and made him watch them sacrifice, to their, and the owl is a representative of Moloch or Baal in the Bible, the Canaanites. God said that the Canaanites, the worshippers of Baal, Jezebel, all them, they passed their children through fire. Well, he came forward and told a bunch of stuff that happened, and they stripped him of all of his money and everything. And now he's come back and he's terrified and he's trying to take it back. So I think they're threatening this is all alleged, speculation, his family. So yeah, hang on. Somebody just sent me something. The condo of Soto. Miss Debbie. Okay, thank you. Hang on, let me pull it up. Somebody just sent me the condominium of the mother and the girl, and I'll show it to you all before I end this live stream because I've been on here for 3 hours now. So this is the condominium of Maddie. It's a nice condo, y'all. Maddie Soto and her mother. So that is a blue house. That is a blue house. Absolutely. We need to pray for our children out here, y'all. Pray for these elites. Pray that God exposes these elites if that is the true that's going on with them. But yeah, this is the house or the condominium. It looks like a little house, don't it? That they were living in. So, and it is blue. And I also want to show you all a picture of him at Disney, just to prove that he does work at Disney. I sent this to, hang on, somebody sent me something. Okay. I sent this to, who did I send that to? I think I sent it to, hey, let me see. Where'd it go? I think I sent it to her where he worked at Disney. Hang on. Where this monster worked at Disney. Y'all, I talk a lot on here, so it's hard for me to find stuff that I send. Here it is. This is him actually at Disney. So he did work at Disney. Credit to Evil Exist. They're the ones that brought it up. So this monster did work at Disney at one time. Now they said he worked through that he was in a contract company, but his friend said Disney, so I don't know. Y'all know how I feel about Disney. Yes, pray for our children. Keep our children safe. Preach, preach, preach to family members, preach to cousins, aunts, uncles, anybody that's got little children. Tell them to keep their eyes out, their ears open. Don't let them stay all night with people. Don't leave them around men. Just be careful, 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 careful with your children because these monsters are on the lurk and they're worse than ever. I do believe we are in the last days, you guys. I believe that. With that being said, not to change the subject before I end the live, I want to say something about something that I seen earlier. So, this has nothing to do with Maddie Soto. So I watched. Y'all know that me and Jinkies, I went over on Jinkies' panel when Andrew or Andy B was on there, right, and spoke with Andy B, right, and I pretty much told him, like, you and Jody Sue needs to work things out and not, make it so public about things. Well, I seen a live stream today with Jody Sue and she was crying and she was scared. Now, I like Andy B, but he did get on there and admit that he did hit her. He did admit to hurting her. She's not lying. I don't know how many of y'all seen it, but he did admit that he messed up and he hit her. And so, for some of these creators to continue to have him on their panel and talk bad about her, yeah, she was crying her eyes out today during the live stream. I felt really bad because, guys, she is a victim of the domestic violence. He admitted to it. He admitted to hitting her. And um, so I just feel bad for her because I just think that if they're going to talk to Andy, talk to him about Summer's case and not bring up Jody Sue and torment and taunt Jody Sue with it because we don't know what Jody Sue had to go through with Andy. We don't know him, but he did admit that he messed up. He admitted it on Jinkies and he admitted it on another channel. So I felt really bad to her and I wanted to reach out to her and just tell her, like, I'm sorry, because I have been guilty of accusing her. I just, yeah. He admitted to hitting her, you guys. Practically, he said he messed up. If you go back and listen to Jinkies live, he did. So she has been, alleged abused by him. And so I mean, I could see why she got upset and started crying today over a certain creator encouraging it. Like, okay, if you're going to talk about Summer Wells' case, talk about it with him. There's nothing wrong with him, but just don't bring up Jody Sue and him's relationship. I think they need to. I think that they need to actually keep that stuff offline, both of them. I'm a victim of DM. It's been years ago, but it never goes away. Me too, Christy. I wasn't married to the guy, but she has photos taken by Ellie. Yeah, he admitted to it. Hey, Master, how are you? Her name is on the deed. You can look it up on the property records. You think the abuse went both ways? I don't know. But I did tell him that I hope he works it out with Jody Sue and they keep it off. They need to keep their relationship offline. And other creators needs to quit weaponizing their relationship against her because she listen, one night I listened to her. She was on Prayer Gardens. And I know she don't like the farm over here, but I heard her talking about her children and how she wants to keep her children safe and all she's worried about is her children. And that was a side of her I've never heard before. That was almost like the human side of her. And so when I seen that live stream of her crying earlier, I don't know, she was bawling. Her eyes were I mean, it was flowing down her face. And, he admitted to it. He has admitted it, but I think he needs to apologize to her some way, somehow. It won't heal her, but it will help with the healing process. I agree. And stop talking about her online. I mean, I know a lot of people don't like Jody Sue, but their relationship, that thing needs to not be a part of the Summer Wells case, I think. And it's kind of sad. I don't know. I felt bad for her. Anybody that's been through domestic violence, I feel bad for. To everyone who has been a survivor of domestic violence or any other kind of abuse, I'm sorry that happened to you. I pray you find peace. My heart breaks for you all. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you so much. And we see so much of it here. You like Jody Sue loves to dance. I don't really have anything against her. If she didn't have anything to do with Summer Wells, then I just can see she's trying to make a living for her daughter. It's just her and her daughter. No, I don't remember him saying that she hit him back. He said the relationship was toxic, but he never said she hit him back. I don't know. All I know is that he did admit to it a couple times. He wasn't really talking bad about her, but some of the creators has been encouraging it a little bit. But now when he was on Jinkies, he really didn't say anything bad about her. Whatever was being said in that other person's chat that she was referring to had her very upset. So, I mean, if she's got a restraining order on him and he is on a social media site saying stuff that he shouldn't be saying, that's not good for him. I don't know what the stipulations is on it, but I felt really bad for her. I'm sorry. I've been booted out of her chat too. I wouldn't say really bad, Kathy. I wouldn't say he was talking really bad about her. He was just saying about their relationship being kind of toxic. Yeah, he did. He did laugh the dance. I like Andy. I don't have anything against him. I don't know him, but he did admit to messing up and hitting her. So, it ain't cool. It ain't cool. You know, it's not good to hit somebody, and she's a woman. I don't know, but I think that just to be respectful, you know, creators don't need to rub salt in the wound. He shouldn't be talking about her, period, if she has an order of protection against him. Yes, that's what I say, Diamonds. Like, he shouldn't be doing that at all. But I don't know. I mean, he seems like he's a nice guy, but you never know about anybody anymore. You know? In the box too. What do you mean in the box? She went through a rough surgery. Yes, she did. She's come close to death, y'all, and she still ain't well. No man should ever lay his hands on a woman ever. And if he did what was in those pictures, it was pretty bad. Yeah, Ted Bundy was a nice guy. He was. You're right about that. But guys, I want to thank everybody that came out here and joined me tonight. I want to thank you all for all your donations and all your contributions to my channel and to me. I love you guys so much, and I'm sorry there was a little bit of drama at the beginning of this live stream. I'm trying so hard to stay out of the drama, y'all. Jody don't kick you, she puts you in a box. Oh, okay. Okay. But listen, guys, y'all stay prayed up, stay safe out here on these YouTube streets. It's dangerous, it's gangster out here. Thank you, Life's a Dance. We'll be back tomorrow to talk some more. I'll do some more research, see what else I can find out. I'm going to find out a little bit about the little boy missing in Tennessee. If y'all have not subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. Hey, Gigi, you have a good night too. Hit that like button. Going over to Beautiful Designs. I do have an Easter wreath that I've made. It's a bunny one. I'm going to try to show y'all how I made it. I love you guys. Y'all stay prayed up. Going over to Beautiful Designs. Stay safe out here on these YouTube streets. Pray for justice for this little Maddie. And God bless you guys. And I love you guys. And yes, I'm going to be looking into Sebastian. I am going to be looking. Who said Sebastian needs it? Catherine said Sebastian needs cover. I am going to be looking into Sebastian's case. We'll be talking about him tomorrow night as well. I love y'all. Y'all stay prayed up. Right here's Diamond Creations channel. Going over and sub up to her. Wait a minute. Hang on. Pass it up. She makes beautiful cups. Awesome cups. Our beautiful diamonds in here. Going over to her channel. Subscribe to it. Check it out. Go buy a cup from her if you've not purchased one. There's my Beautiful Designs channel. I love y'all. I subscribed first time I seen your channel. Thank you, Janet. Thank you so much. And y'all please pray for Christine and Miss Michelle Tucker, Miss Veronica, and Miss Coupon Mama. She just had surgery. Life's a Dance if she's not feeling good. I love y'all. God bless y'all. And hopefully this little girl will get some justice. I hope so. Good night, everybody. Love y'all. Bye. God bless everybody.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. towards the sun rays, and on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon.